Ethics and sustainability are no longer choices, they are responsibilities. Good morning to one and all. Distinguished dignitaries, respected delegates, esteemed academicians, researchers, industry experts, faculty members, students, and dear guests, a very warm welcome to you all. It gives us immense pleasure and pride to gather here for the inaugural function of the International Conference on Business Transformation Towards Sustainability 2026, hosted by Marian Institute of Management, Marian College Kuttikkanam, Autonomous.
This international conference serves as a meaningful platform for academicians, policymakers, practitioners, and researchers from across the globe to deliberate, exchange ideas, and explore innovative pathways towards sustainable business transformation. Let us now commence this auspicious gathering by invoking the blessings of Almighty. I now invite the choir for the prayer song, seeking divine guidance for the successful conduct of this conference. Thank you.
As the deer panted for the water, so my soul longeth after thee. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship thee. You alone are my strength, my shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship thee. You're my friend and you are my brother, even though you are a king. I love you more than any other, so much more than anything. You alone are my strength, my shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship thee.
An inaugural function gains its true essence when the audience is warmly received and the purpose of the gathering is clearly set. With this thought, I respectfully invite Dr. T.V. Murali Vallaban, Director, Marian Institute of Management, to deliver his welcome address.
A warm welcome and very good morning to all of you. Very Reverend Father Bobby Alex Manamplakal, the manager of Marian College, Dr. Raju Narayan Swami, IAS, Principal Secretary to Government of Kerala, Dr. Bharat Das, the Master Trainer in IKS, Government of India, Dr. Mallika Shankar M., Deputy Director, Indian Council of Social Science Research, Delhi, Dr. Oikok Lawong from University of Malaya, Malaysia. He will be online having the lecture. Reverend Dr. Shaiju K.S., Vice Principal and Dean, Student Affairs. Reverend Father Administrator Thomas Abraham. Dr. Anil Jaggi, who will be the chief guest, a Salisbury Fellow and CEO Conscious Ventures. Professor Abraham Francis from James Cook University, Australia. Ramesh PV, former Executive Director of Dalmia Cements. Aravind Vaidya, HR Lead, Volvo. P.S. Aravind, Director, 3R Green Private Limited. Dr. Sheetal and Dr. Pranav Desai from Parul University with a team of students. Participants from various universities, paper presenters, our faculty members, non-teaching staff, and our vibrant students of first year and second year MBA from MIM. It's my privilege, as well as I'm very proud to stand before you on this gracious occasion, where the 11th International Conference on Business Sustainability as the central theme is going to be organized. We have conducted so many conferences, but this is the first time that the conference has taken the shape of a full-fledged international conference with 179 papers, research papers, out of which 51 presentations are from outside India. And those 51 presenters are spread over 20 countries. And also, the Springer has promised to publish all the selected papers. So this is a great event in the academic history of MIM as well as the Marian College. And I use this occasion to express my thanks to all those who have worked behind this great event. I'm not prolonging because our chief guest, he's very busy having a hectic schedule. Therefore, I'm directly entering into my duty of welcoming all the chief guests as well as all those who have gathered here. Very Reverend Father Bobby Alex Manamplakal. He is the physical motivation and mental inspiration for the Marian family. The whiteness of his clothes he wears, the purity of the action he bears, and the clarity of thoughts that he carries. These are the reasons for the motivation and inspiration that he has been giving to all of us. Thank you, Father, and at the same time welcoming you on behalf of all those who have gathered here. Dr. Raju Narayan Swami IAS, I don't know how to welcome him. I'm not welcoming him for the awards and the degrees and the ranks and the recognitions he has achieved during his education period and also during his professional life. I regard him as a person who has broken all the records, and a particular breaking of the record, that is, he is a person who is having about 27 years of service, and out of this 27 years, he got 22 transfers. And these 22 transfers are for his commitment and sincerity towards principles. And this is the greatest recognition, sir, the society has endowed you upon. And for that reason, we are proud to welcome you to this august function. Next is Dr. Bharat Das. Dr. Bharat Das is a master trainer in IKS appointed by the UGC. He has been here last year also, and a special introduction will be given to him. Therefore, I'm not prolonging, and I welcome you, sir, on behalf of all those who have gathered here. Dr. Mallika Shankar, Deputy Director, Indian Council of Social Science Research, is also an eminent academician, and we are very much familiar with that face because years before she was a faculty member here also. I welcome Madam on behalf of all those who have gathered here. And she is an expert in research methodology as well, so we can make use of her expertise there. Dr. Oi Kok Loang, I think that's the right pronunciation, from University of Malaya, Malaysia, and he will be delivering the lecture online. And sir, on behalf of Marian Institute of Management and Marian College and all those who have gathered here, I welcome you. Around Dr. Shaiju KS, the Vice Principal and Dean Student Affairs of Marian College. And you know, he is the person behind the control and command of more than 1,800 students who are living in our hostel. That's not a simple thing. Sir, welcome, Father. Dr. For the valedictory function, could you please stand up? And he is the CEO of Conscience Ventures in Dehradun, associated with so many NGOs, international NGOs. Welcome, sir. And there is Professor Francis Abraham from James Cook University, Australia. Is he here? Oh, please, sir. Ramesh PV, former Executive Director, Dalmia Siemens is here. Aravind Vaidya, HR Lead, Volvo is here. Professor P.S. Aravind, Director of 3R Green Company is here. And last but not the least, Dr. Sheetal and Dr. Pranav Desai from Parul University with a team of foreign students, and welcome to you also, the entire members. I think about our guests, my welcome process or words are over. And now it is with our own faculty members, our own students, our own management. And we were together for the last 6 months. The fructification of this moment, this conference, is the result of the 6 months toiling day and night by some of the members very hardly, and by others as a common character that is a peculiar feature of Marian College. We used to conduct every function with that most perfection and sincerity. And by God's grace, till this moment, everything is on the track, and I thank the Almighty for that. And once again, welcoming you all, let me stop my words. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your warm words of welcome. Leadership plays a pivotal role in shaping.
Chief guest of the day, Dr. Raju Narayanasamy, IAS, dignitaries and experts present here, and my dear students. Going beyond the cliche, I want to let you all know that this is genuinely a matter of pride and honor for all of us to gather around these great personalities who are great contributors, not just in academics, it's industry, in public administration, and so forth. And again, even more of a privilege and a signal of growth for us to have conducted, to be conducting an international conference of this stature. Well, personally for me, I would like to briefly state a couple of things and go back to my seat, because my eager intention is to listen to our chief guest today, Dr. Raju Narayanasamy. Well, we all have different reasons to get motivated. This morning, as I was interacting with some of the guests today, dignitaries today, they were sharing how important it is to get some positive energy when you get to some place. That is you, students. The students, the MBA students, the business postgraduate students gathered here. With your hospitality, with your smartness and energy, you have impressed the guests of the day as well. Therefore, you are the future of our institution. You are the future of our country. Thank you for your brilliant, graceful presence here and always here today and always. Well, as students of business, I am sure that at least most of you did pay attention to the World Economic Forum, which just concluded in Davos. And Dr. Geeta Gopinath, she doesn't need any introduction for especially students of economics, management, and finance. And she made a very, very impressive statement there in the World Economic Forum recently. Pollution is no longer just an environmental issue for India. It is an economic one and a serious one. And the takeaway from that meeting was, if India wants to have a sustained development, inclusive growth, tackling pollution isn't optional. It is macroeconomic strategy. As we have gathered here on a central theme of sustainable development, especially in the context of business administration, how can this sustainable development happen? We have been talking a lot about SDG goals, all the 17 goals and so forth. But how can we make it happen? A very personal example we can say, our campus and this area, district of Idukki, is well known for the environmental friendliness. Although there is a lot of rhetoric about people, the farmers, and also encroachers and stuff like that. Actually, the farmers are the people who have worked towards sustainable development and also about caring for the nature, building up or planting new vegetation and so forth. Let us not elaborate further into that. Just before stepping onto this hall, we had a brief conversation with our chief guest today, and he was reminding us about his days as the district collector of Idukki. During that time, there was an order from the higher-ups to demolish our check dam, Tadayana. Okay. All the students and people around here know what is the importance of that one. Sir, we have, including students and staff, we have about 3,000 people population here on campus. And of that population, about 2,000 of them are staying in and around this campus. How much water, how much clean air we need in order to breathe, in order to drink, in order to shower, and so forth. In those days, due to some misunderstanding, the government ordered the collector to implement demolition of these little check dams, which is basically used for water reservoir for rainwater harvesting. That's what we know, because we collect water from these little hilly areas and use it for sustainable development, so to say. And that water, during this month of February, how much we are in need of water. Anyway, I want to say that the collector, Dr. Rajiv Narayana Swamy, took up the bold decision not to demolish it. Should we not congratulate him for that? Let us give him a look at. And that is the reason why we have plenty of water. I don't want to say plenty of water, at least enough water to sustain during this summertime. Thank you, sir, for doing that. Your boldness and courage. And that is what was mentioned by the welcome speaker, Dr. Murali Vallavan also. You have been taking steps to stand and taking stand for your convictions, and that is why you are revered by many, although may not be so much loved by some quarters. Okay. Greatly appreciate that. And now, let us all join together to stand up for clean energy, clean water, clean air, and also for sustainable development. And all the great dignitaries present here from the industry and from administration, you will be contributing to different ideas and levels of discussions here. Thank you for your presence. And even more, I want to congratulate Dr. Murali Vallavan, Dr. Jose Chittadi, and the rest of the leadership team, the faculty and the rest of the team at Marian Institute of Management, and also the bright, excellent, brilliant students who are present here for your leadership, your commitment, and also what you are yet to contribute and you are contributing. Thank you all and wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, Father, for your inspiring address and valuable guidance. A lamp does not lose its light by lighting another. To symbolically illuminate this conference with knowledge and wisdom, we now proceed with the lighting of the lamp ceremony. I invite all our dignitaries to join for the lighting of the lamp.
ഇൻട്രക്ഷൻ ആണോ? ഞാൻ പ്രസംഗിച്ചോളൂ, കുഴപ്പമില്ല. എനിക്ക് ഇൻട്രക്ഷൻ. ആരാധ്യനായ അധ്യക്ഷൻ റവറൻ ഫാദർ ബോബി അലക്സ്, ബഹുമാന്യനായ ഡോക്ടർ മുരളി വല്ലഭൻ, ഡോക്ടർ ഭരത് ദാഷ്, ഡോക്ടർ മല്ലിക ശങ്കർ, സദസ്സിൽ ഉപവിഷ്ടരായ ബഹുമാന്യരായ വ്യക്തികളെ, പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട വിദ്യാർത്ഥിനികളെ, അധ്യാപകരെ, അധ്യാപികമാരെ, സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ, പച്ചിലച്ചാർത്തിൻ പഴുതിങ്കലൂടതാ കാൺമൂ പശ്ചിമാമ്പരത്തിലെ പനിനീർ പൂന്തോട്ടങ്ങൾ, ഇത്രയും സൗന്ദര്യം ഞാൻ നുകരാൻ തുടങ്ങിയിട്ട് എത്ര നാളായി, എന്നിട്ടിനിയും തീർന്നില്ലല്ലോ എന്ന കവിവചനത്തെ അന്വർത്ഥമാക്കുന്ന മനോഹരമായ കുട്ടിക്കാനത്തിൻ്റെ വിളക്കായി, വെളിച്ചമായി, മണിദീപമായി പരിലസിക്കുന്ന ഈ വിദ്യാലയത്തിൽ നടക്കുന്ന അന്തർദേശീയ സെമിനാറിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കാൻ കഴിയുന്നതിലെ സന്തോഷം, അവാച്യമായ ആനന്ദാനുഭൂതി ഞാൻ ആദ്യമായി രേഖപ്പെടുത്തിക്കൊള്ളട്ടെ. നിങ്ങളില്ലാത്തൊരു ഗാനപ്രപഞ്ചമിൽ അംഗീകരിക്കുകൻ ധന്യവാദങ്ങളെ. നിങ്ങളില്ലാത്തൊരു ഗാനപ്രപഞ്ചമിൽ അംഗീകരിക്കുകൻ ധന്യവാദങ്ങളെ എന്ന വയലാറിൻ്റെ വരികളാണ് ഈ അവസരത്തിൽ എൻ്റെ മനസ്സിൽ മുഴങ്ങുന്നത്. എൻ്റെ മുന്നിലിരിക്കുന്ന സദസ്സിലെ നല്ലൊരു ശതമാനവും സ്ത്രീകളും പെൺകുട്ടികളുമാണെന്ന് തന്നെ അക്ഷരാർത്ഥത്തിൽ അഭിമാന വിജൃംഭിതരാക്കുന്നു. സ്ത്രീ അബലയോ ചപലയോ അല്ലെന്നും അവൾ അവനിക്കണയാത്ത മണിവിളക്കും അഴിയാത്ത കുങ്കുമപ്പൊട്ടും അണിവാടാ മലർമാലയുമാണെന്നവൾ സ്വന്തം പ്രവൃത്തി പഥത്തിലൂടെ തെളിയിച്ചു കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു കാലഘട്ടത്തിലൂടെയാണ് നാം കടന്നു പോകുന്നത്. ഡോക്ടർ എസ് രാധാകൃഷ്ണൻ്റെ വരികൾ കടമെടുത്താൽ, ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് സെഡ് ദാറ്റ് മെൻ ലീഡ് ആൻഡ് വിമൻ ഫോളോ, ബട്ട് ഐ എം അഫ്രൈഡ് ദാറ്റ് ദിസ് ഈസ് എൻ ഓഷൻ ദാറ്റ് മെൻ ഫൂളിഷ്ലി ചെറിഷ് ആൻഡ് വിച്ച് വിമൻ ക്ലവർലി കണൈവ് അറ്റ്. പ്രകൃതിയും മനുഷ്യനും ഒരു നാണയത്തിൻ്റെ രണ്ട് വശങ്ങളാണ്. അവ പരസ്പര പൂരകങ്ങളാണ്. ഒന്നില്ലാതെ മറ്റൊന്നിന് നിലനിൽക്കുക സാധ്യമല്ല. ഡഫഡിൽസ് ആൻഡ് ബ്ലൂബെൽസ്, വയലറ്റ്സ് ആൻഡ് പാൻസീസ്, ക്രിസാന്തമംസ് ആൻഡ് ഡേസീസ്. A tree which has its roots in the soil but which reaches up to the sky is a grim reminder to all of us that our ability to reach our goals depends on we the people who are the soil out of which we grow, who are the shoulders on which we stand. പ്രകൃതിയാണ് ഏറ്റവും വലിയ അധ്യാപകൻ, ഏറ്റവും വലിയ അധ്യാപിക. നേച്ചർ ഇസ് എ ടെമ്പിൾ എന്നാണ് പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്നത്. നേച്ചർ ഇസ് എ ടെമ്പിൾ where living pillars sometimes let go of confused utterances. Man walks amidst forests of symbols, watching him with familiar glances. പറമേൽ തട്ടി പളുങ്കുമണി ചിന്നി ആമന്തമൊഴുകുന്ന ആരണ്യ പൂഞ്ചോലകളും മരന്തം തുളുമ്പുന്ന മലരിൻ ചുറ്റും കൂടി മുരണ്ട് നടക്കുന്ന തേനീച്ചകളും നൽപല്ലവാകുലമായ ചില്ലിക്കൈകളാട്ടി നർത്തനം ചെയ്യുന്ന വല്ലികാലതികളും എല്ലാം പ്രകൃതി മനുഷ്യന് നൽകിയ വരദാനങ്ങളാണ്. ഈ വരദാനങ്ങൾ ഭാവി തലമുറയ്ക്ക് വേണ്ടി കാത്തു സൂക്ഷിക്കുക, അതാണ് സസ്റ്റൈനബിലിറ്റിയുടെ ആത്യന്തികമായ ലക്ഷ്യം. ഒരു മലയാള ഗാന ശകലം കടമെടുത്താൽ, പ്രകൃതീശ്വരി നിന്റെ ആരാധകൻ, ഞാനൊരു ആസ്വാദകൻ, അല്ലേ, വനഗായകൻ. കണ്ണൻ ചിരട്ടയിൽ സ്വർണം നിറച്ചിട്ട് കണ്ണും തുളച്ചങ് ഉയർത്തിപ്പിടിക്കുന്നു സൂര്യൻ, മണവട്ടിയാണിന്ന് ഭൂമി. യൂസഫ് അലി കേച്ചേരി ഒരു കാര്യം കൂടെ പറയുന്നുണ്ട്, 7 നിറങ്ങളിൽ നിൻ ചിത്രങ്ങൾ, 7 സ്വരങ്ങളിൽ എൻ ഗാനങ്ങൾ. ട്രീ ഈസ് എ സിംബൽ ഓഫ് പീസ്. ട്രീ ഈസ് എ സിംബൽ ഓഫ് കോൺഫ്ലിക്ട് റെസൊല്യൂഷൻ. നോബൽ സമ്മാനം ഏറ്റുവാങ്ങിക്കൊണ്ട് വങ്കാരി മത്തായി പറഞ്ഞ പ്രശസ്തമായ വരികൾ എൻ്റെ മനസ്സിലേക്ക് കടന്നു വരുന്നു. ഇൻ മൈ ചൈൽഡ്ഹുഡ് ഐ യൂസ്ഡ് ടു വിസിറ്റ് എ സ്ട്രീം നിയർ മൈ ഹൗസ് ടു കളക്ട് വാട്ടർ ഫോർ മൈ മദർ. Playing among the arrowroot leaves, I used to put my hands beneath the frog sacks, thinking that they were beads. But every time I put my little fingers beneath them, the frog sacks would break. Then I saw thousands of tadpoles, black, energetic, and wriggling against the background of the brown earth. That is the earth that I inherited from my parents. Today, 50 years later, the stream has dried up. Women walk long distances to fetch water, which is not always clean. And the tadpoles are gone. The challenge is to restore the home of the tadpoles and to give back to our children a world of beauty, a world of wonder. അതുതന്നെയാണ് സസ്റ്റൈനബിൾ ഗവേണൻസ് എന്ന് ആത്മാർത്ഥമായി വിശ്വസിക്കുവാൻ ഞാൻ ഈ അവസരം വിനിയോഗിച്ചു കൊള്ളട്ടെ. ഇന്ത്യക്ക് വളരെ മഹത്തായ ഒരു എൻവയൺമെന്റൽ ജൂറിസ്പ്രുഡൻസ് ഉണ്ട്. 1972 സ്റ്റോക്ക്ഹോം കോൺഫറൻസിൽ അന്നത്തെ പ്രധാനമന്ത്രി ശ്രീമതി ഇന്ദിരാഗാന്ധി പറഞ്ഞ വരികൾ, ഈസ് നോട്ട് പോവർട്ടി ദ ബിഗസ്റ്റ് പൊള്യൂട്ടർ, 1974 നിലവിൽ വന്ന വാട്ടർ ആക്ട്, അത് പ്രകാരം നിലവിൽ വന്ന പൊല്യൂഷൻ കൺട്രോൾ ബോർഡുകൾ, 1981 എയർ ആക്ട്, 1984 അൺഫോർച്ചുനേറ്റ് ഭോപ്പാൽ ഗ്യാസ് ട്രാജഡി, മീഥൈൽ ഐസോസൈനേറ്റ് യൂണിയൻ കാർബൈഡിൽ നിന്ന് വമിച്ചപ്പോൾ നിരവധി സാധു മനുഷ്യർക്ക് ജീവൻ നഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടു. അതിൻ്റെ പശ്ചാത്തലത്തിൽ നിലവിൽ വന്ന 1986 എൻവയൺമെൻ്റൽ പ്രൊട്ടക്ഷൻ ആക്ട് EPA, അതൊരു അംബ്രല ലെജിസ്ലേഷനാണ്. എന്താണ് അംബ്രല ലെജിസ്ലേഷൻ? ആ ലെജിസ്ലേഷൻ്റെ കീഴിൽ നിരവധി റൂളുകൾ നിലവിൽ വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഡെലിഗേറ്റഡ് ലെജിസ്ലേഷൻ, അതിലൊന്നാണ് ദഹാനു താലൂക്ക നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻ, വേറൊന്നാണ് ഫ്ലൈ ആഷുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട റൂൾസ്, വേറൊന്നാണ് കോസ്റ്റൽ റെഗുലേഷൻ സോൺ നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻ, മറ്റൊന്നാണ് മുനിസിപ്പൽ സോളിഡ് വേസ്റ്റ് മാനേജ്മെൻറ്റ് ആൻഡ് ഹാൻഡ്ലിംഗ് റൂൾസ് 2000. അങ്ങനെ എത്രയോ ചട്ടങ്ങൾ. തുടർന്ന് വന്ന റിയോ കോൺഫറൻസ്, ക്യോട്ടോ പ്രോട്ടോക്കോള്, കൺവെൻഷൻ ഓൺ ബയോളജിക്കൽ ഡൈവേഴ്സിറ്റി, CBD, ആക്സസ് ആൻഡ് ബെനിഫിറ്റ് ഷെയറിംഗ്. CBDയുടെ പശ്ചാത്തലത്തിൽ ഇന്ത്യയുടെ തന്നെ BD ആക്ട്, ബയോളജിക്കൽ ഡൈവേഴ്സിറ്റി ആക്ട് ഓഫ് 2002. അങ്ങനെ എത്രയോ നിയമങ്ങൾ. അപ്പോൾ നിയമങ്ങളുടെയും ചട്ടങ്ങളുടെയും അഭാവമല്ല, പ്രത്യുത അവ നടപ്പാക്കുന്നതിലെ അലംഭാവമാണ് ഇന്ത്യയിലെ സസ്റ്റൈനബിൾ ഗവേണൻസിന് വിലങ്ങുതടിയായി നിൽക്കുന്നതെന്ന് മഹത്തായ ഈ സദസ്സിനെ സാക്ഷി നിർത്തി പറയുവാൻ ഞാൻ ഈ അവസരം വിനിയോഗിക്കുകയാണ്. ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട സുപ്രീം കോടതിയുടെ നിരവധി ജഡ്ജ്മെൻറ്റുകൾ, റൈറ്റ് ടു ഹോൾസം എൻവയൺമെൻറ്റ് ഈസ് എ ഫണ്ടമെൻ്റൽ റൈറ്റ്. മനേകാ ഗാന്ധി കേസ് മുതൽ ഇങ്ങോട്ടുള്ള MC മേത്ത വേഴ്സസ് യൂണിയൻ ഓഫ് ഇന്ത്യ വരെയുള്ള നിരവധി ജഡ്ജ്മെൻറ്റുകൾ, ജസ്റ്റിസ് കുൽദീപ് സിംഗ് സുപ്രീം കോടതിയുടെ ഗ്രീൻ ജഡ്ജായി ഇരുന്നപ്പോൾ പാസാക്കിയ നിരവധി വിധിന്യായങ്ങൾ. നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയാം, കാൺപൂരിനടുത്ത് ഉന്നാവ് എന്നൊരു സ്ഥലമുണ്ട്. ഒരു കാലത്ത് മൂക്ക് പൊത്താതെ അതിലെ കടന്നു പോകാൻ കഴിയില്ലായിരുന്നു. ലെതർ ഇൻഡസ്ട്രീസ്, ഗംഗയെ പൊള്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരുന്ന ലെതർ ഇൻഡസ്ട്രീസ്. ഇന്നതിന് ഒരു പരിധിവരെയെങ്കിലും വിരാമമിടാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അതിൻ്റെ പിന്നിൽ പ്രവർത്തിച്ചത് ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട സുപ്രീം കോടതിയുടെ വിധിന്യായങ്ങൾ തന്നെയാണ്. അവിടെ നിന്ന് ഇങ്ങോട്ട് ഉത്തരാഖണ്ഡ് ഹൈക്കോർട്ട് പുറപ്പെടുവിച്ച ദിവ്യ ഫാർമസി ജഡ്ജ്മെൻറ്റ് വരെ നീണ്ടു പരന്നു കിടക്കുന്ന ഇന്ത്യയുടെ എൻവയൺമെൻ്റൽ ജൂറിസ്പ്രുഡൻസ്. ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു വരുന്നത്, എൻവയൺമെൻ്റൽ ഗവേണൻസ് ഒരു യാഥാർത്ഥ്യമായി തീരണമെങ്കിൽ അതൊരിക്കലും ഒരു ഓപ്ഷണൽ പ്രോട്ടോക്കോളായി തീർന്നുകൂടാ. അതൊരു മാൻഡേറ്ററി റെഗുലേഷൻ ആയിട്ട് തന്നെ വരണം. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഈ മേഖലയിൽ ഉള്ള പ്രശ്നങ്ങളെ വിശകലനം ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട്, വിശ്ലേഷണം ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട്, വിലയിരുത്തിക്കൊണ്ട്, ക്രിയാത്മകമായ, ഭാവനാപൂർണമായ, നീതിയുക്തമായ, യുക്തിസഹജമായ പരിഹാര മാർഗങ്ങൾ നിർദ്ദേശിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് അതിനെ പ്രായോഗിക തലത്തിലേക്ക് ആനയിക്കാനുള്ള ഒരു കോൺക്ലേവായി ഈ ഇൻ്റർനാഷണൽ കോൺഫറൻസ് തീരുവാനിടയാകുമാറാകട്ടെ എന്ന് ആശംസിക്കുവാനും പ്രാർത്ഥിക്കുവാനും ഞാൻ ഈ അവസരം വിനിയോഗിക്കുകയാണ്. കോടി ശതാബ്ദങ്ങൾ മണ്ണ് വാരിക്കളിച്ചൂടി നടന്ന് വളർന്ന പാർശ്വങ്ങളിൽ, പണ്ട് യുഗങ്ങളെ നിർമ്മിച്ചെടുക്കുവാൻ ഇന്ത്യ പശമണ്ണെടുത്ത പാർശ്വങ്ങളിൽ മായാത്ത കാൽമുദ്ര കുത്തി ഹിമാദ്രിതൻ മാറിൽ പ്രപഞ്ചം അവൻ്റെ കാൽച്ചോട്ടിലായി എന്നൊരു സ്ഥിതിവിശേഷം സംജാതമായപ്പോൾ, നിന്ന് കൈനീട്ടിയാൽ എത്തുന്നിടത്തായി മണ്ണിൽ നിൽക്കുന്ന മനുഷ്യന് വിണ്ടലം എന്നൊരു ചിന്ത മനുഷ്യൻ്റെ മനസ്സിൽ രൂഢമൂലമായപ്പോൾ അവൻ കാട്ടിക്കൂട്ടിയ പേക്കൂത്തുകളാണ് ഗ്രീൻ ഹൗസ് ഇഫക്റ്റിനും ഓസോൺ പാളിയിലെ വിള്ളലിനും എല്ലാത്തിനും വഴിതെളിച്ചത്. പക്ഷെ ഒരു സത്യം നാം വിസ്മരിച്ചുകൂടാ, സയൻസ് ഈസ് ഒൺലി ഹ്യൂമൻ എൻക്വയറി. മാനവികതയില്ലാത്ത ശാസ്ത്രം പൊള്ളയാണ്. ബിക്കോസ് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ ഹ്യൂമൻ എൻക്വയറി, ഇറ്റ് ക്യാൻ only give an answer that is somehow couched in human tones. The primitive man stood against a cliff and shouted. The echo brought back his voice. He started believing in a disembodied spirit. The scientist of today, the technologist of tomorrow stand counting out loud in the face of the unknown. ശാസ്ത്രം എത്ര വളർച്ച പ്രാപിച്ചാലും ഒരു നഗ്ന സത്യത്തിന് നേരെ മുഖം തിരിക്കാൻ ശാസ്ത്രത്തിന് കഴിയില്ല. He paints the wayside flower. He lights the evening star. He paints the wayside flower. He lights the evening star. ചന്തമേറിന പൂവിലും ശബളാഭമാം ശലഭത്തിലും സന്തതം കരതാരി എന്നൊരു ചിത്രചാതുരി കട്ടിയും ഹന്തചാരു കടാക്ഷമാലകൾ അർക്കരശ്മികൾ വീട്ടിയും ചിന്തയാം മണിമന്ദിരത്തിൽ വിളങ്ങും ഈശ്വനെ വാഴ്ത്തുവിൻ. അങ്ങനെ ആധ്യാത്മികതയിൽ അധിഷ്ഠിതമായ ഒരു വിദ്യാഭ്യാസ സമ്പ്രദായമാണ് മറിയൻ കോളേജിൻ്റെ മുഖമുദ്ര എന്ന് നിസ്സംശയം പറയുവാൻ കൂടി ഞാൻ ഈ അവസരം വിനിയോഗിക്കട്ടെ. ഈശ്വരനൊരു യാഥാർത്ഥ്യമോ അതോ കേവലം ഒരു വിശ്വാസമോ, ഒരു തഥ്യയോ അതോ തഥ്യയായി തോന്നുന്ന മിഥ്യയോ എന്ന് പോലും സന്ദേഹിക്കുന്ന ഒരു കാലഘട്ടത്തിലൂടെ നാം കടന്നു പോകുന്നു. ശാസ്ത്രത്തിൻ്റെ അഭൗമമായ വളർച്ചയും ഭൗതികവാദത്തിൻ്റെ അനിതര സാധാരണമായ വികസനവും ആ സംശയത്തെ കൂടുതൽ ബലവത്താക്കിയിരിക്കുന്നു. എന്നാൽ ഈശ്വരൻ സത്യമാണ്, സ്നേഹമാണ്, നീതിയാണ്, ന്യായമാണ്, ധർമ്മമാണ്. നിരീശ്വരവാദിയുടെ നിരീശ്വരത്വവും ദൈവമാണ്. ഗോഡ് ഈസ് എ സർക്കിൾ ഹുസ് സെൻറ്റർ ഈസ് എവരിവെയർ ആൻഡ് ഹുസ് സർക്കംഫറൻസ് ഈസ് നോവെയർ. ജഗദധീശ രാത്രിയും ശശാങ്ക താരകങ്ങളും പകലും അർക്കബിംബവും നിറഞ്ഞ മേഘജാലവും. ആകാശത്തേക്ക് നോക്കൂ, ഗഗനമെന്തൊരത്ഭുതം, സമുദ്രമെന്തൊരത്ഭുതം, സകല ലോകജാല ജീവൻ എന്നതെന്തൊരത്ഭുതം. ഈശ്വരഭക്തിയിൽ അധിഷ്ഠിതമായൊരു സമൂഹത്തിന് മാത്രമേ സസ്റ്റൈനബിലിറ്റി എന്ന പാതയിലൂടെ അതിദ്രുതം പ്രയാണം ചെയ്യാൻ സാധിക്കുകയുള്ളൂ. യഥാർത്ഥത്തിൽ ഒരു രണ്ടാം സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യ സമരമായാണ് സസ്റ്റൈനബിൾ ഗവേണൻസിനെ ഞാൻ കാണുന്നത്. ഒരു രണ്ടാം സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യ സമരം. ലോകത്തിലെ ഏറ്റവും മഹത്തും ബൃഹത്തുമായ ജനാധിപത്യ രാജ്യമായ ഭാരതത്തിൻ്റെ മക്കളാകുവാൻ, സന്തതികളാകുവാൻ അപൂർവ ഭാഗ്യം ലഭിച്ചവരാണ് നാം ഓരോരുത്തരും. സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യത്തിൻ്റെ ഊഷ്മളവും സംശുദ്ധവുമായ വായു ശ്വസിക്കാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞതിൻ്റെ പിന്നിൽ, മനികൾക്ക് മൃതിയേക്കാൾ ഭയാനകമായ പാരതന്ത്ര്യത്തോട് വിട പറയുവാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞതിൻ്റെ പിന്നിൽ സേവനത്തിൻ്റെ, ത്യാഗത്തിൻ്റെ, കഠിനാധ്വാനത്തിൻ്റെ, അർപ്പണ മനോഭാവത്തിൻ്റെ ഉദാത്തമായ നിരവധി കഥകളുണ്ട്. പൊരുതി നേടിയെടുത്ത ആ രാഷ്ട്രീയ സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യം സാമ്പത്തികമായ, സാമൂഹികമായ സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യത്തിനും സസ്റ്റൈനബിൾ ഡെവലപ്മെൻറ്റിനും കൂടി വഴിതെളിക്കേണ്ടിയിരിക്കുന്നു. മരിക്ക സാധാരണമോ വിശപ്പാൽ ദഹിക്കയോ നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിൽ മാത്രം, ഐക്യക്ഷയത്താൽ അടിമശവങ്ങൾ അടിഞ്ഞുകൂടും ചുടുകാട്ടിൽ മാത്രം എന്ന് വള്ളത്തോള് മാപ്പിൽ കുറിച്ചിട്ട വരികൾക്ക് മാറ്റം വരുത്തേണ്ടിയിരിക്കുന്നു. സുഖാമൃതം സ്വൈരമശിച്ച് ദിവ്യ സൗധേരമിപ്പൂ മുതലാളി വീരൻ അവന് വിൺതീർത്തവരോ വിശപ്പാൽ വല്ലേടവും വീണ് മരിച്ചിടുന്നു. ഇന്നാട്ടിലെ സാധാരണക്കാരനും ശുദ്ധവായുവിനും ശുദ്ധമായ ജലത്തിനും അവകാശമുണ്ട്. അവകാശത്തിന്മേൽ ഡെമോക്രസിന്റെ അതായിരുന്നു രാഷ്ട്രപിതാവിൻ്റെ ആഗ്രഹം. വൈപ്പ് എവരി ടിയർ ഔട്ട് ഓഫ് എവരി ഐ. അതാണ് ഗാന്ധി അപ്പൂപ്പൻ. ആരിലും കനിവുള്ളവൻ, കുരുന്നു നുള്ളുവാൻ പോലും കൈവിറയ്ക്കും ദയാമയൻ. അധ്വാനിക്കാതെ സമ്പാദിക്കുന്ന ധനം, മാനവികതയിൽ അധിഷ്ഠിതമല്ലാത്ത ശാസ്ത്രം, മാനവസേവയിൽ അധിഷ്ഠിതമല്ലാത്ത മാധവസേവ, ഇതെല്ലാം പൊള്ളയാണെന്ന് വിശ്വസിച്ചിരുന്ന ഗാന്ധിജി. നമസ്തേ ഗതദർശ, നമസ്തേ ദുരാധർഷ, നമസ്തേ സുമഹാത്മൻ, നമസ്തേ ജഗൽഗുരോ എന്ന് കവികൾ വാഴ്ത്തിപ്പാടിയ ഗാന്ധിജി. ആ ഗാന്ധിജിയുടെ കാൽ ദഖേന്ദു മരീചികളെ പിന്തുടരുന്നൊരു തലമുറ. ആ തലമുറയ്ക്ക് മാത്രമേ സസ്റ്റൈനബിൾ ഡെവലപ്മെൻറ്റിൻ്റെ കാവൽ ഭടന്മാരായി തീരുവാൻ കഴിയുകയുള്ളൂ. ട്രസ്റ്റ് വിത്ത് ഡെസ്റ്റിനി. 1947 ഓഗസ്റ്റ് 14 അർദ്ധരാത്രി നാം നമ്മുടെ ജനതയ്ക്ക് നൽകിയ ഒരു ട്രസ്റ്റ് വിത്ത് ഡെസ്റ്റിനി ഉണ്ട്. Long years ago we made a trust with destiny. ആ ട്രസ്റ്റ് വിത്ത് ഡെസ്റ്റിനിയെ ഒരു ട്രസ്റ്റ് വിത്ത് ഡെസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഷനായി മാറാതെ കണ്ണിലെ കൃഷ്ണമണി പോലെ പോസ്റ്ററിറ്റിക്ക് വേണ്ടി, ഭാവി തലമുറയ്ക്ക് വേണ്ടി കാത്തു സൂക്ഷിക്കണമെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ ഗവേണൻസിൻ്റെ മുഖമുദ്ര സസ്റ്റൈനബിലിറ്റി തന്നെയായിരിക്കണം. ലെറ്റ് നോട്ട് ദ ലോക്കസ് ഓഫ് ഡെസ്പയർ ഡിസ്ട്രോയ് ദ ഹാർവസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ഇന്ത്യാസ് ഫ്രീഡം. ബസീരെ ലോകവും और टूटे वादों उनका अनकहा कसीसा हो पे. बसीरे लोगों, the forgotten people. टूटे वादों, the broken promises. I am their untold story. മേധാ പട്കർ പ്രശസ്തമായ വരികളാണ്. സസ്റ്റൈനബിൾ ഡെവലപ്മെൻറ്റിൻ്റെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ അംബാസഡറായിരുന്ന മേധാ പട്കർ. അവരുടെ പ്രശസ്തമായ വരികൾ ബസീരെ ലോകോ ഓർ ടൂട്ടെ വാദോ ഉൻക അൻകഹ കസീസ ഹുമേ. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഇന്നാട്ടിലെ സാധാരണക്കാരനായ ദരിദ്ര നാരായണൻ്റെ കണ്ണീരൊപ്പുന്നൊരു വികസന മാതൃക, അവനെ കേന്ദ്രബിന്ദുവായി സ്വീകരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു വികസന മാതൃക, പ്രകൃതി നമുക്ക് നൽകിയ വരദാനങ്ങൾ അതേപടി ഭാവി തലമുറയ്ക്ക് വേണ്ടി കാത്തു സൂക്ഷിക്കുന്ന ഒരു വികസന മാതൃക, അത് തന്നെയാണ് ബ്രുൺലാൻഡ് കമ്മീഷൻ റിപ്പോർട്ടിൻ്റെയും അന്തസ്സത്ത. അത്തരത്തിലുള്ളൊരു വികസന പന്ഥാവാണ് നാം വെട്ടിത്തെളിക്കേണ്ടത്. ടാഗോറിൻ്റെ ഗീതാഞ്ജലിയിലെ വരികൾ എൻ്റെ മനസ്സിലേക്ക് ഓടിയെത്തുന്നു. Where the mind is without fear and the head held high, where knowledge is without barriers, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way in the dreary desert sand of dead habit, to that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. ആ എവേക്കനിങ് ആണ്, ആ ഉയർത്തെണീപ്പാണ്, ആ ഉണർത്ത് പാട്ടാണ് വികസനമെങ്കിൽ ആ വികസനത്തിൻ്റെ ലലാട ഫലകത്തിലെ തിലകമാണ് സസ്റ്റൈനബിലിറ്റി. പ്രകാശത്തിൻ്റെ കൈവിരലുകൾ കൊണ്ട് എഴുതിയ ഒരു കവിതയാണ് സസ്റ്റൈനബിലിറ്റി. പ്രകാശത്തിൻ്റെ കൈവിരലുകൾ കൊണ്ട് എഴുതിയ കവിത, മനുഷ്യത്വത്തിൻ്റെ, സ്നേഹത്തിൻ്റെ, സാഹോദര്യത്തിൻ്റെ അധര സിന്ദൂരം കൊണ്ട് എഴുതിയ ഒരു കഥയാണ് സസ്റ്റൈനബിലിറ്റി. മഴ മണ്ണിനോട് എന്താണോ ചെയ്യുന്നത്, മഴ മണ്ണിനോട് എന്താണോ ചെയ്യുന്നത്, അതാണ് സസ്റ്റൈനബിൾ ഡെവലപ്മെൻറ്റ് മാനവരാശിയോട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അതിൻ്റെ ആഖ്യാന ശില്പം ക്ഷേത്ര കലയുടെ സൂക്ഷ്മ സുഭഗതയാണ് പ്രകടിപ്പിക്കുന്നത്. അതിൻ്റെ ആഖ്യാന ശില്പം ക്ഷേത്ര കലയുടെ സൂക്ഷ്മ സുഭഗതയാണ് പ്രകടിപ്പിക്കുന്നത്. പി.കെ. ബാലകൃഷ്ണൻ തൻ്റെ ഇനി ഞാൻ ഉറങ്ങട്ടെ എന്ന ഗ്രന്ഥത്തിൽ കുറിച്ചിട്ട വരികൾ കടമെടുത്തുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ പ്രസംഗം ഉപസംഹരിക്കാം. സഹസ്രയുഗങ്ങളായി തൻ്റെ വക്ഷസ്സിൽ നിന്നും തൻ്റെ നെഞ്ചിൽ നിന്നും നിത്യേന സൂര്യബിംബത്തെ ആകാശത്തേക്ക് തൊടുത്തു വിടുകയും പ്രപഞ്ചത്തിൻ്റെ അവിരാമമായ വൃദ്ധക്ഷയ പ്രക്രിയയ്ക്ക് ശ്രുതി ചേർത്ത് പ്രവഹിക്കുകയും ഹിമവദ്ഗിരിയുടെ കരളലിഞ്ഞ് വാർന്ന കണ്ണീരിനെ ദുഃഖാർത്തനായ മനുഷ്യൻ വാർക്കുന്ന കണ്ണീരിനോട് കൂട്ടിക്കലർത്തി ഒഴുക്കുകയും ചെയ്യുന്ന ഗംഗാ പ്രവാഹത്തെ നിർമ്മലമാക്കി ഭാവി തലമുറയ്ക്ക് കൈമാറാനുള്ള ബാധ്യത നാം ഓരോരുത്തരുടെയും ചുമലിലുണ്ട്. മന്ദാകിനി ഫതിന ഗോയകണ്ഠേ മുക്താവലി കണ്ഠഗതേവ ഭൂമേ എന്ന രാമചരിത മാനസത്തിൽ വർണ്ണിച്ച ഗംഗാനദി. അതുകൊണ്ട് ആ ഉത്തരവാദിത്വം നാം ഓരോരുത്തരും നിർവഹിക്കും എന്ന് രക്തം കൊണ്ടും ഹൃദയം കൊണ്ടും ബദ്ധപ്രതിജ്ഞരാകുന്ന നല്ലൊരു വേദിയായി ഈ മറിയൻ ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ഓഫ് മാനേജ്മെൻറ്റ് സംഘടിപ്പിക്കുന്ന ഈ സെമിനാർ തീരുവാനിടയാകുമാറാകട്ടെ എന്ന ആർത്തത്രാണപരായണനായ ജഗന്നിയന്താവിനോട് പ്രാർത്ഥിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഇൻ സം ഫെയിൻറ്റ് ഡോൺ, ഇൻ സം ഡിം ഈവ്, ലൈക്ക് എ ഗസ്റ്റർ ഓഫ് ലൈറ്റ്, ലൈക്ക് എ ഡ്രീം ഓഫ് ഡിലൈറ്റ്. In some faint dawn, in some dim eve, like a gesture of light, like a dream of delight. May this international conference attain its solemn objectives എന്ന് മാത്രം ആശംസിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഗഗനകൂടാരം തുറന്നു നീ നോക്കുക, ഒന്നകലെയെങ്ങാനും പ്രകാശമുണ്ടോ? ആ സസ്റ്റൈനബിലിറ്റിയുടെ പ്രകാശം ചെന്നപാരതയുടെ കൈകളിൽ പിടിക്കുവാൻ എന്ന പോൽ സമാന്തരം പായുന്ന പാളങ്ങളെ, റെയിൽ പാളങ്ങളെ പുലരിക്കതർ വന്ന് മുന്നമേ പരത്തുന്ന പുതിയ വെളിച്ചമീ ഞങ്ങളിൽ പകരുന്നു. ആ സസ്റ്റൈനബിലിറ്റിയുടെ തിരുനാളങ്ങളും തീപ്പന്തങ്ങളും എൻ്റെ തലമുറയിൽ നിന്നും നിങ്ങളുടെ തലമുറയിൽ നിന്നും ഈ കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളുടെ തലമുറയിലേക്ക് കൈമാറുന്നൊരു വേദിയായി ഈ സെമിനാർ തീരുവാനിടയാകുമാറാകട്ടെ എന്ന് മാത്രം ആശംസിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് എല്ലാവിധ ഭാവുകങ്ങളും നേർന്നുകൊണ്ട് ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി ഇടുക്കി എന്നെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം കർമ്മഭൂമിയാണ്. ഒരു വട്ടം കൂടി എൻ ഓർമ്മകൾ മെയ്യുന്ന തിരുമുറ്റത്തെത്തുവാൻ മോഹം. ആ തിരുമുറ്റത്തെത്തുവാൻ എനിക്കൊരു മഹാഭാഗ്യം നൽകിയ ഈ ചടങ്ങിൻ്റെ സംഘാടകർക്ക്, വിശിഷ്യ ബഹുമാന്യനായ ഡയറക്ടർക്കും ബഹുമാന്യനായ മാനേജർ അച്ഛനും ഹൃദയത്തിൻ്റെ ഭാഷയിൽ അകൈതവുമായ ഹൃദയംഗവുമായ നന്ദി രേഖപ്പെടുത്തിക്കൊണ്ട് എന്നിലർപ്പിതമായ കർത്തവ്യം നിർവഹിച്ചതായി വിനയത്തിൻ്റെ ഭാഷയിൽ ദൈവനാമത്തിൽ പ്രഖ്യാപിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ വാക്കുകൾ ഉപസംഹരിക്കുന്നു. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എൻ്റെ വിനീതമായ
Thank you, sir. And please remain on stage, please. At this moment, we would like to extend our sincere gratitude to our esteemed chief guest for honoring us with his presence today. I request Very Reverend Father Bobby Alex Mannamplakal to kindly present a token of appreciation to Dr. Raju Narayan Swami IAS.
സന്തോഷം.
സാറ് പോകുന്നതിന് മുമ്പ് ഒരു കാര്യം കൂടെ ചേർത്ത് പറയണമെന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുന്നു. ഞങ്ങൾ രണ്ടുപേരെ കണ്ട് ആരാണ് മൂത്തതെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു അറിഞ്ഞുകൂടാ. ഞങ്ങൾ ഏതാനും ദിവസത്തെ വ്യത്യാസമേ ഉള്ളൂ. ഒരു വർഷം ജനിച്ച് ഒരേ വർഷം SSLC പാസ്സായവരാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ. പക്ഷേ ഇടക്കാലത്ത് ചെറിയ പരിചയങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഉള്ളൂ, DBA കാലത്തൊക്കെ. പക്ഷേ ഞങ്ങൾ SSLC പാസ്സായ വർഷം കേരളത്തിലെ SSLCക്ക് എത്ര ലക്ഷം പേര് എഴുതി കാണും സാറേ? 5 ലക്ഷം പേര് എഴുതിയതിൽ 1ാം റാങ്കിൽ പാസ്സായ ആളാണ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ കൂടെ. അതുകൊണ്ട് എനിക്കൊരു മത്സരമായിരുന്നു, ഞാൻ ഒത്തിരി പുറകിലായിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ പോലും.
അതിന്റെ എൻ്റെ ക്രെഡിറ്റ് എൻ്റെ അച്ഛനും അമ്മയ്ക്കുമാണ്. എനിക്ക് 1% പോലും ക്രെഡിറ്റ് ഇല്ല. എൻ്റെ ക്രെഡിറ്റ് ഗോസ് ടു മൈ പേരൻസ്.
പിന്നെ പ്രീ ഡിഗ്രിക്ക് 1ാം റാങ്ക്, യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റിയിൽ ഡിഗ്രിക്ക് 1ാം റാങ്ക്, UPSC നാഷണൽ സിവിൽ സർവീസ് എക്സാമിനേഷനിൽ കേരളത്തിൽ നിന്ന് ദേശീയ തലത്തിൽ 1ാം റാങ്ക് വേണ്ടി പാസ്സായി. താങ്ക് യു. ഈ മനുഷ്യനാണ് ഇത്ര എളിമയോടുകൂടി ഇവിടെ വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്. നമുക്ക് ഒത്തിരി അഭിമാനം, ഒത്തിരി സന്തോഷം. സാറിൻ്റെ ഇനിയുമുള്ള സേവനകാലവും അതിനു ശേഷവും ഉള്ളത് ഈ നാടിനും നമുക്കെല്ലാവർക്കും കൂടുതൽ കൂടുതൽ ഉപകാരപ്പെടുന്നതായിട്ട് ഇടയായിട്ട് മാറട്ടെ എന്ന് ആശംസിക്കുകയും പ്രാർത്ഥിക്കുകയും ചെയ്യുന്നു.
Thank you, Raju sir and Father Bobby Alex. Now, for the keynote address, we have a familiar face, a distinguished storyteller, and it's none other than Dr. Bharat Dash. Dr. Bharat Dash is a distinguished management trainer and educator known for his distinctive use of Panchatantra stories and Indian knowledge systems to address leadership, ethics, and organizational development. He is an appointed master trainer with the Indian Knowledge Systems Division, Ministry of Education, Government of India, and a trainer under the Malviya Mission Teacher Training Program of the UGC. Currently, he serves as the Deputy Director at the Center for Indian Knowledge System, Sri Sri University, Odisha. We are delighted to have him with us once again. Welcome, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Very Reverend Father Bobby Alex, sir. Dr. Raju Narayan Swami, Principal Secretary, Government of Kerala. Dr. Malika Shankar, Deputy Director, ICSSR. Dr. Ui Kok Luang, Senior Lecturer, University of Malaya. All the distinguished dignitaries from academia, from industry, from the work of all the stalwarts who are present here, and my dear students. Very good morning to all of you. There is a mic here, but I prefer this one. I am a teacher at heart, and it's not a speaker, but a teacher, so I prefer moving around. It gives some trouble to the camera people, as always. So I hope you don't mind me moving here, right? So one more reason. Sir gave a fantastic, I don't understand Malayalam behind maybe 3 or 4 words which my friends have forced me to learn. But still, as they say, communication is beyond words. And whatever I could pick from his words, and everything that I could pick from his gestures, from his tone, was fantastic, sir. And maybe something that I could reflect upon once I go back home. The crowd is a heterogeneous one. There are stalwarts, there are pioneers, there are trailblazers, and we are all students over here. I don't know whom to speak to. I cannot say anything to them. They're all people who have moved much ahead in life. Maybe I'll talk to the students here, or maybe I'll speak to you people, and so that all people over here can witness and correct me if I go wrong somewhere while talking to you. So when they were introducing me, they used a word called storytelling or storyteller. So with respect to storytelling, some of you might have, remember we took a story last year when we were here from Panchatantra? Anybody remembers any character from there? No? Oh, how sweet, Manibhadra, you made my day. Okay, so the Manibhadra story we took from last year. So first of all, let me just congratulate the entire ecosystem at Marian Institute of Management who has been able to provide such platform to different people and come up with such relevant topic. I'll take first 10 minutes, maybe just to narrate a simple story, because maybe next year, if at all I come here, or maybe if I'm invited, then you may forget what all I spoke, but you may still remember one more Manibhadra as a character from a story. So let me take a very small story from the Panchatantra and let's see how we can think about sustainability from that angle. Ready for a story? Everyone? Nice, good. First line, say again. I'm waiting. First line of the story? Nice. So once upon a time, good. So once upon a time, there was a farmer. The name of the farmer was Haridatta. Be with me, okay? The name of the farmer was Haridatta. Haridatta had around 2 acres of land where he used to farm for cereals, for pulses and everything. He used to do a lot of hard work. He used to get the yield, get the return, get the production. But the production or the yield that he used to get was never as high or equal to what other farmer in the same locality used to get. He was a bit disappointed with this, but never lost hope. He kept on giving his best to the farmland in whichever capacity he can. Once what happened, it was around 12 noon and he had just completed his lunch, midday lunch, and he was taking a nap on the same field below a tree, half an hour nap. And when he was just getting up with still his eyes closed, at a distance, at the other corner of the field, he could see that there is a big snake, black snake, who was entering into a hole. And after looking at the snake, he just rubbed his eyes and he thought, oh my God, this is a huge snake. It doesn't look normal, like a normal snake. It must be some divine creature over here. And maybe this snake is the deity of this land. Gratitude in his heart and respect in his heart, he placed it over there and saying, sorry, I didn't know that you are here. So this, please accept this as an offer of my gratitude and I apologize for the delay. And he went with his work. Next day morning, he again came back to his field and then he remembered, oh, I had kept the bowl, I need to take it out. When he went there, the bowl didn't have the milk. Instead, it had a small little gold coin. He was happy. He said, wow, he has accepted. So he takes that gold coin, goes to home, brings back one more bowl of milk and places it there, saying, thank you so much. I'm so happy that you accepted my apology. Next day morning, again he goes there and he again finds a gold coin. So every day now, he starts placing a bowl of milk and next day in the morning, he starts getting a gold coin from it. And his normal agricultural activity continued. After 15-20 days, there came an invitation for Haridatta from a relative who was living far away. And he wanted to visit the relative, but that would take 1 full day of going and coming back and a disruption in his activity, in his farmland activity. He called his teenage son. He must be 16, 17. He calls, come here, listen to me carefully. I am not available for a day. And what I want you to do is, today evening, go and place this bowl of milk near that corner of our field. And tomorrow morning, go and collect the bowl. By tomorrow afternoon, I will return. So don't worry about it. His son said, yeah, of course. This is such a simple job. I'll just placing the bowl of milk in the morning and collecting it back in the evening and collecting it back in the morning. I'll do it. So Haridatta leaves. This fellow, his son, in the evening goes and places that bowl of milk. Next day, morning he goes. As father has instructed, he goes. And then he sees the bowl contains a gold coin. He says, what? Gold coin? He takes the gold coin, places it in his pocket, and then starts thinking. He says, definitely there is a treasure inside this hole. From that treasure, this gold coin has come out. It will be wonderful if I can take all the treasure out once at one go. Why to take gold coin again and again? What if I have all the treasure at one go? So let me figure out how to unearth that treasure. So he takes a farm equipment and starts digging there to take the treasure. After digging couple of times, the big black snake comes out, cobra comes out like this, and the cobra warns, like with his own way of moving, go away, move away from here. But now the teenage son is convinced that there is definitely a Panchatantra story appears very light and Panchatantra story appears very light and childlike, but it's not. So what is that treasure representing? Or the farmland and the treasure representing? All the resources that we have in the nature, everything that we have. What is the difference in the approach of the farmer and the son and his son? What is the difference? The farmer believed in taking something step by step, whereas the son wanted to go for a windfall, all at once. Revenue, as we have studied in MBA, revenue is revenue when it is in a continuous stream of inflow. Continuity is far more important than the quantity. Sustainability is all about that continuity, not at one go. So where is this coming from? Where is this difference in approach or action coming from with respect to Haridatta and his kid? Haridatta followed a very nicely regulated or framework which we call as Purushartha, whereas his kid jumped the steps. If you have heard of Purushartha, Purushartha says that every human being has to strive for 4 steps or 4 overall goals: Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. What is Dharma? Is your righteous duty or the duty performed in a righteous manner is Dharma. What it gives? Artha in return. We'll talk about Artha a bit later. What do you do with Artha? Maybe use it to fulfill your desires or Kama, meaningful desires or Kama, so that what you get at the end, a kind of moksha, contentment. We'll not go to the spiritual definition of moksha, maybe a general, more approachable and easily understandable definition of moksha, that is a contentment, peace within. Right? To connect or maybe to relate it with something which you do as students. As student, what is your dharma? As student, you are a part of this ecosystem. Let's assume Marian Institute as an ecosystem. Are you a part of this ecosystem? Yes. What is your role? What is the name given to your role? The name given to your role is student, Vidyarthi, of being a student. With this role of being a student, there are certain responsibility that you want to perform. Maybe attending lecture, being regular on time, being dutiful towards your assignments and work, being respectful to your faculty members. What do you gain in return? If you do all these things, what do you gain in return? Knowledge, experience, wisdom. All these are also counted as artha. Even vidya is one of the artha that you get in return. So only when we are able to do all these things, we get something in return, artha. What do you do with that artha? What does artha helps in? In attaining or fulfilling your desire or kama. What is your desire right now? Maybe next year or this year, getting a good job or being able to start your own firm. That's the kama that you're aiming for. And so that if you are able to attain your kama, when you go out of this campus, pass out of this campus, you are having moksha in your heart, contentment, satisfaction. Yes, this 2 years, this 1 year was fulfilling. But sometimes what happens, if the cycle gets reversed, if the driving force becomes kama or the desire, then there is imbalance. And the same thing can happen with entrepreneurship also or corporates also. Corporate has certain, or in any organization there are certain layers of value system, or we can say there are certain layers of statement which govern us. There is vision, there is mission, there are goals, there are objective, and so on. The most important among this is the vision statement. Why? Because the vision is defining the dharma, the purpose of the existence of this organization. The organization should be ideally being guided by this vision statement and not by the goal of the next quarter. Goal of the next quarter is the karma. But what happens when we go down? We are generally forced to get aligned with the goal. We have to increase the revenue by 10%, increase the market share by 15%. Remember, these statements are all karma based. But the vision statement, if we have written it in a particular manner, in a well-defined manner, it becomes the purposeful statement for us to drive, to move ahead. That becomes dharma-based. Dharma itself, the word dharma itself is a very, very deep alternative to sustainability. One word talking everything about sustainability. Sir spoke about dharma and niti both in the same line. Dharma is the overall vision or the duty or the role that a person is supposed to play. Niti is the action through which this dharma is achieved. So have you, for example, I'll just, to make your life meaningful in this environment, in this ecosystem, do you sometimes write a timetable? Do you sometimes write a timetable for yourself, a schedule for yourself? Again, I am talking to students. Do you do that? Oh, so you say that, let's say exercising from tomorrow onwards or maybe from New Year onwards, I will do all the exercising, all the gymming, all these things, so and so. And with a lot of energy, you write it down. But what happens next? Are you able to sustain the timetable? No. Sustainability is that stream of income or that stream of rewards that a person gets when he is able to continue acting on the dharma. Haridatta should be an example of what sustainability can give us. I had a professor of economics, Professor Sahuraja, Rohington Sahuraja. You must have heard of him. He was very popular in Mumbai University, had written many books on economics. And some of his words are classic among our friend circles. We remember him for that. And he used to give this statement. He used to teach us macroeconomics and he used to give this statement, okay, coming from economic background. He used to say like this: nature is bountiful, not just beautiful. Okay? Nature is bountiful. And hence, nature should be explored, not exploited. Okay? It should be explored in such a way that you enjoy the bounty which is present in it. And when it comes to nature, there are three different ways in which we can look at nature. First, we are separate from the nature. We humans are different, I am different, nature is different. The green, everything around is nature, I am different. Second, we are a part of nature. We are living in this ecosystem. And the third one is, we are nature. We are nature. So this is what we should consider. And whenever we are keeping a stakeholder, all the stakeholders in mind, whether you are in this ecosystem of a college or in the ecosystem of corporate, remember that the way Haridatta was able to please the stakeholders first with a lot of gratitude and then get something in return, similarly we should also be doing with the stakeholder. Give and then be expecting something in return. Today, in the world of scalability, today, when we pitch for something, a project or an entrepreneurship idea, people ask how scalable it is. Today, in the world of scalability, we need to understand that scalability is just one aspect of sustainability. So we should not compromise sustainability just because we are aiming for scalability. Sustainability is that continuous flow of revenue that will keep us nourished. So, as an end statement, I would say something like this. Our efforts, whether as students, whether as corporate leaders, managers, our efforts should be rooted in dharma, nourished by artha, directed towards meaningful karma, so at the end, we get the contentment of moksha. Wish you all the very best for your endeavors. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, once again for enriching on our academic platform with your profound insights. We are honored to have with us as the guest of honor, Dr. Mallika Shankar M., Deputy Director of Research at Indian Council of Social Science Research, Ministry of Education, Government of India. With over 25 years of professional experience in mentoring researchers, supervising doctoral work, and strengthening academic quality across institutions, Dr. Mallika has been deeply committed for strengthening India's social science research ecosystem and translating research into policy-relevant and socially impactful outcomes. We are privileged to have with us here today. I invite Dr. Mallika Shankar to address our gathering as the guest of honor. Welcome, ma'am.
Good morning. I would like to say that a happy morning to everyone gathered over here. And basically, it's an honor as well as a responsibility in me to address all of you. So I'm much privileged to stand over here, I should say. It's like a home coming back home for me. So some 7 years before, I was a part of Marian Institute of Management. And now I'm back with profound happiness to address all of you. Basically, whatever I have thought of telling, and I'm overwhelmed with joy, I should say, by listening to the Panchatantra stories, as well as the overflow of information, or rather the profound knowledge that we have received from Dr. Swami. It was a fangirl moment for me when I met him. Because in my school time, we always hear that, look at Raja Narayana Swami and, learn from him. He's the first rank holder from 10th to 12th to graduation to IAS. That was the situation. So, and also coming back and seeing all my colleagues, Samson sir to Bose sir to everyone over here, it's like a pleasure moment for me. So let me sink into that and tell me what exactly I need to tell you. And since yesterday, I'm interacting with students and teachers over here, and all were asking, what do I do in ICSSR, Indian Council of Social Science Research? I'll definitely brief you on what exactly I do over there, rather we do over there. And also happy to see people from parallel universities and people from across the globe over here. Okay, so basically for me, sustainability is not a concept of peripheral talk. For me, it is inclusive in nature, that everything that we do see. We do need that in our teaching, in our student life, etc. So the thought process goes in such a way that, where do we need sustainability? So I wish to explain sustainability in the continuum of 3 different spectacular lines, which I thought that one is organic growth, the second is circular economy, and the third one is the values that we embodied within us, which is the neurological alignment, where exactly every individual will connect that to sustainability. So yesterday when I spoke to people, 6 to 7 students in the evening, first years, and the same 6, 7 students of second year of MBA, I have asked them what is their purpose. 2 people said, no purpose, ma'am, yet to decide. 2 people said, 2 to 4 said, we have already set up business from our parental level. I would like to continue there. I again probed, what will you do? My mom has a boutique, 2 boutiques already, and then I asked, will you go for it 4? Then, yeah, I'll go for it. Is that the purpose? Is it the mission that we want? Is that sustainability that we are talking about? So when will you dream something bigger than that? When will you dream that the neurological alignment of organic growth will come to you? What is organic growth? Is it only about farming? Or is it organic growth of us, organic growth of the state? Basically, it's a political thought process, isn't it? Organic growth is always a political thought process. But still, I would like to bring that thought process over here. When a state wanted to organically grow, it need proper infrastructure, it need proper economic setups, developments, etc. Isn't it? So that organic growth is required in an individual also. We need an environment, we need systems, beliefs, thoughts, which is aligning to the environment, which is aligning to the value systems that we embodied or we are carrying out in India. And also, it has to be aligned with the mission or the purpose. We should think what we want to become. What is the purpose of our life? Where exactly we are heading to? Are we only want the money that we require, or do we need to think about, or rather align with the sustainable goals, the 17-1 from poverty to system development, it is there. Are we aligning that? And India's research touch upon that. Yesterday when I was talking to Dr. Muralidharan, we were discussing on how SDG goals aligned with various other thought process wherein we can develop projects based on that. And what exactly we do at ICSSR is, Indian Council of Social Science Research is one of the councils under the Ministry of Education. Basically, Ministry of Education has varied councils. We have Indian Council of Social Science Research, we have Indian Council of Philosophic Research, Historical Research, Cultural Research, etc. But for a faculty member or for a fellowship earning person, it is all funding agency. No, it is not only funding agency. Yes, we do fund, but at the same time, we need research that can convert to the policies of Government of India, that we support the real policy framing for the government. That's how we work at the Research Center of ICSSR. So I strongly urge that, coming back to your circular economy. So if I were in a class, people could have said that, ma'am, I know circular economy, I know what is it. So what is circular economy? Any answer? So let it sink in now. Nobody is giving me an answer. So basically when we talk about circular economy, now no Levi's or no Patagonia is only producing the jackets that you wear. They are going for refurbishing what they have already made. So their first product, when they sell it, and when they sell the first product into the second time and the third time, they are making 30% to 40% extra money on it. The same happens at Rolls-Royce also. They are not giving you only the machines, but they are giving a sustainable solution, isn't it? That sustainable solution, normally we go for digging the mining in earth to get the gold. But the same mining happenings with the support of robotics and the other new era technologies at Rolls-Royce to mine out the minute golden particles from the used mobiles. There is sustainability working out in business, isn't it? There is sustainability working at the spiritual level in India, rooted through Indian knowledge system. So we must be seeing that, okay, there is puja happening, there is a lot of things happening at the at Bharatapura, etc. But are they a practice which we are bringing back? What is we lost? 800 years of Mughal emperors, 200 years of British Raj. We are still only 73 years of Indianized thoughts. But still we go back to the colonization, right? So how can we bring in the decolonization and bring in the thought process which is already there with us? So to bring back that sustainability thoughts to us, that's what I believe that sustainability is all about. And I strongly believing that these sustainable thoughts with your neurological alignment thoughts of environment to the spiritual values should be there with every student who is sitting over here. And I wish you all the best for all of you to think in the proper alignment of your thought process in the sustainable thoughts, and wishing you all a wonderful time ahead with this international conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your insightful words. We now move to an important milestone of International Conference on Business Transformation towards Sustainability 2026. the launch of the Conference Book of Abstracts. I kindly request Dr. Mallika Shankar M. to come to the dais for releasing the Book of Abstracts. I invite Dr. Bharat Dash to receive the book. I also invite Very Reverend Father Bobby Alex Mannapakal and Director Dr. T.V. Murli Vallapan, along with the proceedings in charge, Dr. Asha Sara Maman, and student in charge, Mr. Delano Thomas, to the stage. Global dimension to this conference, we are privileged to have a distinguished international expert. We have with us today Dr. Ui Kok Long, Senior Lecturer at the University of Malaya, Malaysia. He is an experienced finance professional in investment, governance, and risk management, holding LLM, CMIIA, and CIA credentials, and he will be joining us online.
environmental crisis as well. Typically, things that those developing and underdeveloped countries, they are being suffering for the getting out the resources and sell it to developed countries. And similar to the Malaysia situation as well, we do have a lot of palm oil, a lot of the bubble tea. Also, we do need to come up with the products and selling to more developed countries, and also facing the problems that is linked to the climate change, the release of the carbon dioxide emission as well, and is linked to the effects of climate change. So we can see that there are some of the global challenges that are being circulated around the world. For example, like geopolitical conflicts that we can see like Ukraine and US, and also the Russians that have together in the Middle East country as well. And then food security, one of the very big issues is still back to the climate change. So when it comes to like economy as well, we can see that it has some huge impacts on the economy impact. For example, like 6.6 trillion annually is contributed to 11% of global GDP based on the World Bank data back in 2018. I don't have the latest data because this was the report that we released back then. However, as you can see that it does cause a lot of damage to the planet as well, and we do believe that with the current situation it will be becoming worse as well. So, for example, like there are some principles that can help us to link and align with the today's topics with the business transformation, especially in economy. We do have some of the economic frameworks that are coming out to actually focusing more on the ESG for the social balance and with the equality as well. So one thing that we always talk about is also going through the behavioral finance theories. That is asking people and also pushing the people to actually work on the sustainability transformations. So we can see that consumer commitment and awareness are becoming higher compared to a few years ago, because right now a lot of the country and a lot of the companies will come up with the more sustainable packaging. They will come up with the plan and feelings in the social media to create an awareness to the consumer to have the sustainability mindset as well. So one of the things that is also fostering the corporate sustainability. For example, if you take from a global perspective, there are some of the countries that also some of the companies that are doing quite well. For example, like the Patagonia and Microsoft as well. They also have a different kind of campaign like reduce plastic, or they recycle your used materials and fabric as well. And for example, having carbon targets to reduce it also. But if you really look at in Malaysia as well, we are also having something that's similar. We are forcing the public listed company or listed in the stock exchange to comply with the ESG initiative and to do annual reports on this, to tell us what the company, especially the public sector, the big-size company, what they have done to the society and what they have done to the environment to help it to be a better society. So you can see that, for example, at Petronas, they have been committed to the net zero carbon emissions by 2050, and they have been reducing the carbon as well, and they are the carbon emissions through their daily business activity. For example, like Maybank, a financial service, one of the Malaysia's largest bank, is also going for the paperless and also promote for financial inclusion, ethical lending, giving better discount for the business that deal with the ESG. And also we do have a Tenaga Nasional Berhad. They are also monitoring the use of the energies, focusing more on the renewable energy. For the solar energy, they do give some discount and also can give some feedbacks to that. So it will be great. So for example, like the Malaysian company, they are pushing together to the ESG initiative to build a better society. And this is how it's aligned with the business transformation through the sustainability. It's also applied with the theories of behavioral finance. They are pushing the company to actually comply through the laws and regulations. So we also can learn something from the disruptions that is actually changing the world as well. So we can see that with the more sustainable sustainability transformations, they're actually changing in the leadership and governance. I think back then, in the decades ago, like 10 years ago, nobody in the public listed company that talk about protections of the environment. But right now, with the force of the regulations and law, a lot of the companies will need to have an executive level commitments and accountability to have the certain protection towards our environments, like planting the trees, measuring the carbon emissions, doing a lots of the indicators in order to reduce and to reduce the burdens to the planet as well. And then they need to come up with the strategies and better plannings. They have the progress and commercializations. The ESG is not only reporting on the paper, but it will be affecting that how consumer or the client is actually having the perception towards the business, and it will lead to the fact that whether people is going to buy their product, whether people is going to buy the share of the company as well. So it is quite a great move that is right now a lottery that are implying all these laws and regulations and forcing the listed company to comply with the sustainability transformation as well. So we can see that the social economic dimensions of the green transitions is not just a simple transitions, but it creating an awareness with the integrations of the climate actions with the economic security. The main reasons that why pay much attention on the diversifications in terms of the social welfare, in terms of the sustainability is that it has a huge impact on the economy, that if the governments are not forcing the public sector company to do so, they will need to fork out a lot of money in order to make sure that our environment is being protected and we have a suitable surroundings for us to live and carry out our daily activity as well. So if we fail to actually address the social impacts, it can pose a higher risk to the shareholder value, regulatory compliance, and also more on the social license to operate also. So we can see that the roads ahead or how business is going to do with the strategy is not going to be easy. The regulation is becoming more stringent and it becoming more strict as well. And you'll be forcing more of the company to actually apply more high advanced ESG indicators. So there are some of the key indicators that we can learn that hopefully that go through this conference that we can see more papers that are actually coming out and also discussing on it. For example, that with the implementation of the core sustainability strategy, like having a very strict targets, like for example, achieving 20% of the carbon footprint reductions in the 2 years. This is one example, and also the promise that our Malaysians social Malaysian listed exchanges that are actually forcing the company to come up with a promise and commitment. And also that we can also have developed the behavioral change program. For example, like asking the employee to actually participate in a green initiative by 30% annually, asking them to contribute, asking them to actually take actions not only in terms of the office, but also when they're actually back to home. And we can also have an innovative circular business model. For example, like launch 2 new circular products or service annually, or having a strategy partnerships. Like for example, TMB with the solar energy in Malaysia. If you are applying the solar energy at home, you can have the discounts with the your monthly electricity bill. So it is quite a good strategy and partnership that can actually have a collaborations between the different parties, between the governments and also with the private sector. So we can see that this is how important and also how this theme of the conference is very good in sharing about business transformation through the sustainability. And somehow the sustainability is not talking about the future, it's about the current trends that we are having right now. And we can feel that the climate change has been affecting all Earth, it's becoming hotter, and the surrounding environment may not be getting better as well. So rather than waiting for the better future, we should actually do it right now, and also to promote the sustainable future going through the business transformation right now, maybe in India, in Malaysia, in any other country as well. I do believe that a lot of the country, especially like US as well, they are actually moving forwards to that, to the more sustainable future, and the consumer also having more a higher level of the awareness to actually promote the sustainability. So thank you all. That's all that I want to address as a keynote. And again, thank you for having me. And thank you for having me to give the talk as well. And I will pass to the host. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for joining us and sharing your international perspective with us through this online lecture. To felicitate our distinguished guests, I invite Reverend Dr. Shaiju K.S., Vice Principal, Student Affairs, Marian College, Kuttikkanam, to deliver the felicitation address. Welcome, sir.
there is a voice within you saying you are not able to draw. And if it repeatedly tell you you cannot draw, then start drawing. Then the voice within you will be silenced. Said by Vincent Van Gogh. Very recently, one of the Malayalam actresses, young actresses, Esther Anil, while she was saying about the situation or the life she has completed, the program she has completed in UK, Indian School of Economics, she also said, it was rather difficult to compete with the world intelligent people and also to overcome the imposter syndrome. But I'm happy that I could compete with them and I could successfully complete my PG program. So when I just see the Marian International Institute of Management organizing such an international conference on business to sustainability, I feel that within 13 years of its successful running, Marian International Institute of Management has become out of every imposter syndrome, and it is going beyond the nationality, and it is reaching, or it is global attention. Honorable manager, even though he is absent, honorable administrator and director, Murali Vallavan sir, Dr. Bharat Das and Dr. Mallika ma'am, distinguished guests on and off the stage. 10 years before, when I visited Thailand together with my MHTM students, the first sentence I got from the tourist guide from the bus in the Thailand, it was quite disappointing. He said, you people from India, you keep your car clean, but country unclean. But we keep our country clean even if our car get spoiled. It was said together with, or it was said to the entire group where my students also was there. I was the faculty accompanying them. I did not say anything because they were commenting on our habit of throwing everything from the car or the vehicle to the roadside. It was the comment that he mentioned. But now, after 10 years, in 2026, the now second year hospitality management students are right now in Thailand with the other two faculty members, our another vice principal and Dr. Rajimol. Yesterday I got a comment from the same people or the faculty accompanying. Another comment on India. We salute India for your love for the nation. It is also from the Thailand. It is also from the tour agent, land tour agent from Thailand. Maybe we could not, or we are striving, or we are achieving to be sustainable, but the world view regarding our progress is definitely the care and the love for the nation, so that we are being recognized worldwide with regard to our love for the nation. Our love for the nation, amidst all other difficulties, will make India, as Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister, said very recently in the UN General Assembly, for India, one earth, one family, and one future is commendable. Definitely, we will become just like any other world developed nations with regard to sustainability and with regard to economic progress and with regard to all other achievements that we can make. As our Mallika madam was telling, I was also a fanboy of our Dr. Raju Narayana Sami. I was also just listening from the first standard when I joined school in 1983. Then he and the father manager completed SSLC, Raju Narayana Sami, with the first rank. I was also listening the same sentence. You have to look at Raju Narayana Sami and listen. See, I'm very hopeful after listening to Dr. Raju Narayana Sami, the vision he has got, the motivation he has given, and the energy that he has showered into this whole as well as to the nation from this campus. The Marian is blessed, and we are very happy with the words and the presence of Dr. Raju Narayana Sami. And when I think about our Bharat Das, maybe if you come to this hall, maybe not today, but if you go through these nearby classrooms and so on, you can find a lot of girl students and boy students playing or learning chanda, music, violin, Indian classical dance, Indian classical music, Indian medicine, all those things are happening in campus. Sir, it is all because of your effort, your contribution to bring Indian knowledge system into the Indian curriculum, that our BCA students become students, BBA students, other than their usual courses related to that particular curriculum alone being taught, as we all learn. These students, they can relax with the cooking class, they can relax with the learning chanda, they can relax, and this all be credited to our curriculum. Thank you, sir, for your vision on incorporating IKS to the Indian syllabus and your contributions in the curriculum development. So when I saw Melligam, very recently we had a WhatsApp chat with regard to some questionnaire filling and so on. And she promised us, Father, you submit your proposals. It is not, as she said in the same podium, it is not regarding funding. It is all regarding policy generation. I am very proud, even though I did not get much opportunity to interact with her while she was here, but her vision that this funding, ICSSR is not just for funding, but whenever we are funding, it will be useful, or it will be assured that it is for policy generation. When there are people sitting in the important chairs without a vision, maybe lot of funding may be released to different agencies, and researches may be done, and some may benefit out of those financial aid, but there will not be any policy formulation. There will not be anything useful for, as we said, for one India, one family, one nation. When our own former faculty is heading ICSR with such a vision, we are all blessed, and we are very happy that Mallika ma'am is in that position and with a strong vision. Murali Valavan sir, Josachan, and all other faculty members, students. I also am very happy as the Vice Principal and Dean Students Welfare. When I stand here in the absence of principal, when I see these students organizing, when I see they are managing as a real managers, future managers, I'm very happy, and I take this opportunity to congratulate Dr. Murali Valavan sir, Joseph, and other faculty members and their mentors for organizing such a wonderful event where our students, Marianites, will benefit out of developing their capacity. And we have got on the left side eminent people from the industry. Dear sirs, I have a small request to all of you, that there is a gap. Even though we say we are trying to reduce the gap between the academy and industry, still there is a gap between the academy and industry with regard to maybe the implementation of things. We teach them in the class, and you give us a lot of opportunities for internship, projects, and so on. Still we want to collaborate more, so that our students, not only Marian students, the students who are passing out from various institutions, will be capable of stepping into the industry straight from the campus. Maybe there are induction programs happening in every industries in order to equip them for industry fit. It takes maybe 2 months, 3 months, or up to 1 year as probation period and so on. Shall we think about a possibility of reducing that induction program so that they will be taking different chairs in the industry itself when they pass out of the campus. Maybe we need a further discussion, further thinking, and so on. We have one model in our BCA classroom where the curriculum even is designed with the support of the industry people, and industrial experts are coming and engaging some of the sessions directly. That all will help our students to take up various responsibilities. I also stopped, when Raju Dharana Sami was reciting lot of stories, lot of poems and so on from his memory. I am not able to recollect like a genius like him. But even then, I am reminded of 2 paragraphs of N.N. Kakkad, a Malayalam poet, who wrote in his poem, Vadi Vettunnavar. It is written like this: വഴിവെട്ടാൻ പോകുന്നവന് പല നോവുകൾ നോക്കണം, പല കാലം തപസ് ചെയ്ത് പല പീഡകൾ ഏക്കണം. When MIM or Marian College or we together organize such a program, when we create a new path, there are so many difficulties or so many hardships. But the last paragraph is very much promising. നീ വെട്ടിയ വഴിയിൽ ഒരുത്തൻ കാലുകുത്തി അശുദ്ധി വരുത്താൻ ഇടയാകുമ്പോൾ കാപ്പോം ഇനി നീ പോച്ചങ്ങാതി. Even though you had so many difficulties while you were creating the path or you were making the path, you might have received so many difficulties. But once you have created the path, there will be people to come who can easily walk and achieve their goals. Dear MIM team, the hardships that you have suffered, the pain you have taken is all part of organizing. In organizing this program, you had many difficulties. But because of this initiative, lot of policies, lot of opportunities, and lot of future future opportunities will be there in our way to sustainable India. Wishing you all the very best for this conference of 2 days. I remain. Thank you.
Thank you, Father, for your kind and inspiring words. Now, to honor our distinguished guest, I request Reverend Father Thomas Abraham, Administrator, Marian College, Kuttikkanam, to present the token of appreciation to Dr. Bharat Dash and Dr. Mallika Shankaram. I request the dignitaries and Father to be on the stage.
As we conclude this inaugural session, it is now time to express our sincere gratitude to all those who have contributed to the success of today's program. On this note, I invite Dr. Joshija Jose, Conference Coordinator, to propose the word of thanks. Ma'am, please.
Excellence is never an accident. It's a result of high intention, sincere effort, intelligence, direction, and stressful execution, and the vision to see obstacles as opportunities. Very good afternoon, all. I quote, "Your positive action combined with positive thinking results in success." Shivkera. It is my indeed pleasure and honor to stand before the distinguished guests and other members who are present online and offline for the International Conference on Business Transformation Towards Sustainability, ICBTS 2026. The journey towards this was a chapter of team effort and team spirit. The duty entrusted with me is to propose the vote of thanks, and I am truly grateful to express the same. The man of integrity, honesty, and anti-corruption mentality has made this person a gem, representation of ethical leadership. Dr. Raju Narayanasamy IAS, Principal Secretary, Government of Kerala, was with us with his eminent presence. On behalf of the management, I thank Sir for his valuable words and poems that he has shared from his memory. We are very delighted for your presence and sharing with your valuable time with us. Thank you, sir. The cultural authenticity of traditions are holding a man towards knowledge. We are truly delightful for the presence of Dr. Bharat Das, Master Trainer, IKS, Ministry of Education, Government of India. Thank you, sir, for your valuable presence and delivering wonderful thoughts. And we try to be the Haridar of that particular story that you have shared with us. Thank you, sir. A woman of leadership and compassion who is currently the director of ICSSR, Dr. Malika Shankar M, is with us. Ma'am, you made this conference an academic event through your valuable presence and also by sharing academic insights. Thank you, ma'am. A strong institute is made through a visionary leader. We are truly grateful for the presence of Very Reverend Father Bobby Alex Manamplakal, Manager, Marian College, for standing as a pillar of support who constantly contribute his acumen to lead this institution to the next level. In his absence, we thank you, Father. Going beyond the boundaries of academic collaboration is a progressive moment of an institution. We are truly grateful for the presence of Dr. Oi Khoi Loang, Senior Lecturer, University of Malaya, Malaysia, for addressing us online. Thank you, sir. A man of simplicity and who always share amusing communication, Reverend Dr. Shaitu KS, Vice Principal, Student Affairs, Marian College, is also with us. Thank you, Father, for your valuable presence. A man who values sustainability and lives in ethical integrity, our Dr. T.V. Murali Vallabhan sir, Director, Marian Institute of Management, with us throughout this journey. We thank you, sir, for your valuable support. On behalf of the members present here, I thank our management for the relentless support which they have offered for the conduct of the international conference. We thank our management. We also thank all the participants who submitted the papers to our conference, and your research willingness has made this conference a grand success. Thank you all. I also thank the associating institutions, Parallel University Vadodara, Gujarat, University Kashmiria Wilkso, Poland, St. Aloysius College, Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh, for collaborating with us. Thank you all. We thank Father Thomas Abraham, Administrator, Marian College. A man with true enthusiasm is behind the scene. Reverend Dr. George Titadiel, Deputy Director of Marian Institute of Management. Father, thank you for the support. I thank my co-coordinator, Assistant Professor Bibin Xavier, for the sleepless nights, extraordinary efforts, and courageous commitment. Thank you, sir, for the support. I thank the entire Marian Institute of Management family, my colleagues, for leading this program in a professional and a dedicated manner. Thank you all for your extraordinary commitment. We also thank Ramesh PB, Arvind Warrior, Professor Abraham Thomas, Anil Jackie, Arvind P.S. Aravind sir for their invaluable presence for their inaugural function. Thank you all for being with us. Without thanking the students, it is incomplete to close the duty assigned to me. We are truly blessed to have such a wonderful student community who are capable of making the event complete as like our logo speaks. Thank you, dear students, for the efforts and contributions for the ICBTS 2026. I thank Almighty God for the blessings and wonders which has showered upon us from the start till this day and even tomorrow. Every sunset is an opportunity to reset. Every sunrise begins with new eyes. Richie Norton, I unquote, thank you and I remain.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful words. As we come to the end of this session, we sincerely thank our esteemed audience for your time and attention. Your presence has greatly contributed to the success of this session.
You may now kindly proceed for a quick break. Tea has been arranged for the dignitaries, so please proceed to the lounge. And for the students, tea is arranged right outside the hall. Requesting all of you to join back for the panel discussion in 10 minutes, and we will be resuming by 11:35. Thank you and enjoy the break. Have a wonderful day ahead.
A reminder to all students, this is streaming live, so please maintain decorum while being in the hall. Thank you. നമ്മളിത് ലൈവ് സ്ട്രീം പോകുന്നതാണ്, അപ്പോൾ എല്ലാവരും ഹാളിലിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ ആ ഡെക്കോറം കീപ്പ് ചെയ്യുക. താങ്ക് യു.
The session aims to explore how organizations can move beyond compliance and take a leadership role in driving meaningful long-term impact. It gives me great pleasure to warmly welcome all our respected guests, dignitaries, faculty members, and participants to today's panel discussion titled Beyond Compliance, Leading the Sustainability Paradigm Forward. With an eminent panel comprising industry leaders and academicians, today's discussion will offer valuable insights into sustainable practices, leadership perspectives, and future-ready strategies. Now I invite Ms. Zihana and Ms. Fatima to introduce our esteemed guest.
It is my privilege to warmly welcome Mr. Ramesh PV, a seasoned business consultant with over 33 years of experience in building materials and cement industry, with strong expertise in sales, marketing, and supply chain management. We are honored to have you with us today, and we warmly welcome you, sir, to this panel discussion. We are delighted to welcome Mr. Arvind Warrior, an accomplished HR professional with more than 18 years of experience across IT, manufacturing, and pharmaceutical sector. We are honored to have you with us today, and we warmly welcome you, sir, to this panel discussion.
It is our honor to welcome Professor Abraham Francis, Discipline Lead in Social Work at the University of Notre Dame, Australia, an adjunct professor at James Cook University, an internationally respected academic in social work education and mental health. We are privileged to have him with us today, and I warmly welcome you, sir. It is our pleasure to welcome Mr. Aravind PS, founder and director of TMC Automation and Solworth Ecotech, a respected engineer and innovator in automation and sustainable waste management. We are honored to have him with us, and I kindly welcome you, sir.
Our moderator for today's panel discussion is Professor Samson Thomas, Dean Corporate Affairs at Marian Institute of Management. With his rich academic experience and strong industry interface, Professor Samson has played a key role in building meaningful corporate partnerships and mentoring future managers. His insights and leadership make him the ideal moderator to guide today's discussion on sustainability beyond compliance. Please join me in welcoming Professor Samson Thomas. Now, without making much delay, let's begin our panel discussion.
So once again, good morning. Good morning. Yeah, it's only a discussion. Okay, no worries about speeches. It will be we would like to make it a very lively discussion. Maybe at the fag end of the discussion, you can also pose some questions. Okay, we expect very vibrant questions from your side also. Okay, so we have with us very eminent dignitaries, maybe from cement field, maybe from HR field, maybe from academics, the experience, the overall experience from Australia, what is happening in Australia, Professor Abraham can share, and truly a sustainable, maybe a champion of sustainability, I should say like that, okay. Aravind PS, okay, responsible for Solworth, responsible for 3R Greens, the names itself synonyms of sustainability. Okay, Aravind sir can also contribute what is real sustainability, what he is doing. So we are enriched with such a very eminent panel. Sustainability is all about 3 P's, which many of you may be knowing: people, planet, profit. Okay, it's suppose you cannot live without oxygen. That is what Devi Shetty telling. Oxygen is very much essential, maybe quite essential for us to live. You can't live without oxygen maybe for 2-3 minutes. Profit is like oxygen, that is what he is telling. Like one of the prominent cardiac surgeon, one of the richest cardiac surgeon, maybe 10,000 crore worth he has got, net worth. He is telling oxygen is very much essential for life, profit is very much essential for life. But we are going to challenge it, whether it is essential or whether it is only one essential thing which is quintessential for business. Let's start from the sharing of experience from these people, what they are really doing to make their business really sustainable, maybe from a people side, maybe from a manufacturing side, maybe exploring what we can do maybe in terms of sustainability, in waste management, in all other kind of thing. So what is happening in Australia? So Sir will obviously brief us. So let's start with some of the sustainability initiatives as well as innovations, wonderful innovations which is maybe paving the way for sustainability in their various sectors. Maybe the HR of Volvo may be contributing much into the people side of it, what they are doing from a people perspective, the social sustainability. Okay, let's hear from these people what are some of the sustainability initiatives, some of the innovations which they are practicing, best practices what they have brought into their company. Okay, let's start from our veteran, the cement veteran. Okay, Ramesh sir, over to you.
Thank you, Professor Sampson, and very good morning to you, all the wonderful students. Bose is sitting there with a nice pose also. And wonderful to see you all. And I think, I'm come to the same hall the second time. As a guest speaker, I was here earlier. And it's great to be here and talk about sustainability, which is the future, along with the other panelists, eminent panelists sitting here. And to start with the discussions, And Professor Sampson has handed over the mic, maybe to embarrass me or embrace me, I don't know, but definitely to embrace me more. Thank you. The one thing is that, I've been with the cement industry for a long time, and cement contributes the carbon emission of cement to the world is close to 5 to 7%. So as a whole, if I am taking about the total perspective of the industry, I'm just giving you a gist of that. I'm not going to dwell too much because other panelists also require few questions more. I'll just touch upon and then we will move forward. China produces 1 billion tons of cement. 1 billion tons of cement capacity is there. So their limestone capability is very, very high. And India, after exploring many places, many states where the limestone capability is there, produces 710 million tons of cement by various manufacturers. And just to give you an inside view, it is not that whatever produce you are going to consume. It is like whatever you produce at home, your mother cooks at home, you are not going to consume. In a similar way, this goes as per the demand and supply. Those things it will go. We have taken various steps under World Business Sustainable Council of Development. And cement is a major person who involves to see that the carbon emission is controlled in this. And more questions, I will give you more answers on this. I think to start with.
Thank you, sir. Yes, I will come back to you. Okay, we'll come back to you again. Let's listen to, here we have got two Aravind sitting here, so there is a confusion. Okay, Arvind Warrior. Okay, Arvind Warrior, who will speak from a people perspective, from a social perspective, what Volvo is doing. Maybe not to impress people, but a lot of messages in terms of social sustainability. Okay.
Good morning. Good morning to all my leaders, dreamers and doers in this room. Okay, I think, okay, it's an alarm for me to leave. I don't know. Okay, fantastic. Okay. So very good morning. The most important thing to sustain in life is you should be sitting in the last so that you can steal everyone's ideas, but unfortunately it is not possible. I thought I'll not get this question first from Samson, sir. Okay, so I'll just take you through three important vital aspects when it comes to sustainability for any organizations, and I want all my leaders to at least keep a note of it. When we hear the word sustainability, it is going to be a common norm across. One is the most important thing is climate, right? The most important thing is the ecological system which we are part of. Climate is the most important. You cannot take climate for granted. So in terms of any kind of offices or any kind of factories which we build or any kind of organizations of future, we'll also have high emphasis on the climate, and climate is something which we really look up from the sustainability point. Number two, the most important thing is the resources. The whole idea of resources comes to 3 R's, which I was just thinking is in terms of reproduce, reuse and restore. And that is in terms of waste, water and anything of that matter. Any of the organizations, when you look at the so-called sustainability, it's around first is climate. Second is the resources which we take from the Mother Earth. Last but not the least, the most important thing for us is the people, the great minds who are sitting in this room. And the most important thing, if you have to really sustain, it's all about sustainment in terms of innovation. And innovation is not about doing big things. It's always about, we were just discussing this morning, it's about small thing which is called continuous improvement, Kaizen. And for us as an organization, we believe in only these 3 things. Climate, how do you really utilize or optimize resources? And third, the people. And people is all about the young minds who are sitting here. And believe me or not, the generation or the most important thing for all the great minds sitting here is engagement. And that engagement comes from continuous or corporate social responsibility. I think that's why this particular topic is very important to us. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I think you need to explore more in terms of people perspective from maybe on a later stage. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now let's focus on to this side. We have with us Professor Abraham sir is from Notre Dame University, Australia. The whole Australia continent, what they are doing in terms of all the 3 Ps, maybe what are some of the researches happening there, maybe what are the practices that is happening there. Okay, you can share with us, sir.
Thank you so much for this lovely introduction and the questions. I enjoyed having some brief discussions with the panelists. Also, so lovely to meet all of you. I'm a teacher. I love talking, so I have taken some notes so that I can contain myself and give you the exact 3 to 4 points. Number 1. What is 1 plus 1? 1 plus 1. What is the answer? 2. How many of you say it's 2? Can you raise your hands? 1 plus 1 is 2. Thank you. Now, this is where the title of this conference theme is Beyond Compliance. Can we actually think differently? Can we see 1 plus 1 as 11? That is the magic of this discussion and dialogue. So let me share with you some of the things that we did in an Australian context. So as a lecturer, as a professor, started to teach in Australian universities, many students came and told me, Abraham, we are not able to submit the assignments on time. Is it a similar thing for all of you here? Do you all submit your assignments on time? Wonderful.
They are all submitting in time, sir.
Yeah, wonderful. So some of my students did. So I think this is important for us to recognize. 1 in 4 people are affected by a mental health problem in a given period of time. So for me, this was a big challenge. 1 in 4 people are affected by a mental health concern. And my students had these issues, and I thought it was only my students. And I checked with the other colleagues, and they said they are also facing the same problem. And some of my, as I was leading the program, I had around 25 to 30 staff members, and they said they're also facing this problem. So we had to identify this as an issue that was affecting my community, right? So what we did was something that I'd like to share with you. So we kind of organized some of those colleagues over a coffee and discussed about it. What can we do? So my conversation is going to be a solution focused in terms of what we did. We created a small group of people who are trying to respond to these challenges the young people are facing. We created, the title was Oscillation Center for Mental Health Collaboration. Psychologists, so we are not working in silos. We go by open mind. We thought we need to bring in more people. So let's collaborate, coordinate, and come up with the new ideas to support students. And this then reflected in us being invited by the Australian Vice Chancellor's Conference, and we were asked to talk about it. And so it became a policy direction that every university should have a mental health policy. So a small activity, there's so much to talk about it, but I'm saying one small activity that without even funding generated lots of interest from the students, from the staff, and then we build it up. Oscillation, mental health in higher education. So for me, it is about workplace wellness. How can we create a wellness approach, a model within the workplace setting? Whether it is industry or a higher education sector, that's an important thing. So I wanted to touch on this particular aspect, and the idea here is a Churchill Fellowship scholar who was, was been provided with lots of funding to come up with a model for Australian higher educations. He called it as the wicked problem, right? And then he said in the report, a tap at the top. Did you hear me? A tap at the top, which means that we need to convince the management about the importance of these issues that people are facing. Sometimes as leaders, as students sitting here, you're all leaders. So maybe a small issue that you identify, take it up, go beyond the circles and create, and don't wait for systems to change. If there are no systems, create systems. If there are no doors, doors must be created. And I think that is the way I see as students, that there are problems, hundreds of problems. But sometimes we wait for others to fix it. So let's not wait for others to fix it. Let us come up with collaborative approaches to identify the problem and then take appropriate action to respond to those things.
So then there is a small catch. The 3 P's will change into something called people, purpose, and planet.
Place.
More than a profit.
Yeah, but then place is important as well. Where I am located. For me, it's about my student group, my community, higher education sector. That sector needs an issue to be addressed. Now, whether we can have a new model, an old model, whether the Australian government is going to fund this program, that is different. But I'm only talking about how each individual can take responsibility in addressing the problem without even waiting for government to fix it.
All right, sir. That's about workplace wellness. The initiatives which the university staff or the people, researchers, including headed by Professor Abraham, which was done recently, maybe in the University of Notre Dame. Well done, sir. That's a good initiative. Now let's listen to Arvind PS, who is a veteran in waste management. This is Kerala is very notorious for waste mismanagement. Right from Vilappilsala, right from recently in Brahmapuram, all those places where we have seen, we will ban everything including plastic. We are not managing it actually, we are collecting everything. We are very systematic in collecting, including Marian College. There are 4 dabbas, all green, yellow or green. But see, municipal, all other people, all people, they are collecting very systematically, but dumping all these things together and then burning it. Okay, this kind of thing it is happening in Kerala. Okay, now there is a veteran. He has done many contributions to this waste management. Knows everything in and out. Maybe in terms of waste management. Let's listen to Arvind sir. Okay.
Yeah. Good morning. As Samson sir said, we are much behind when you talk about Kerala. But for me, when we travel across India, what we find is Kerala is really doing good. Maybe for the last 10-15 years, the way our state has come up with the waste management ideas and implementation. Mostly, when you start implementing, it is not about giving lectures or kind of, informations to the people, but how it is being implemented. See, my career started after my engineering. I was just placed immediately after my course, and I got a very good job those days. But as my instinct inside me was not allowing me to work, and I started of my own when I was 25 years old. And my students, as Mallika ma'am was referring to, what is your aim if you're asking? Like when somebody asked me, even from my college day, I used to say that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Because of course, you need to work in a corporate or somewhere where you get a base, then later. So after I quit my job, I started my automation business, industrial automation. I worked on robotics, a lot of things, Then, during this, I can say 2010 onwards, this waste management, this issue has burned, or the burning issue of waste management has been, it was so much that, I was thinking, as Sir Samson said, what small things we can do. Then those days I was thinking, as a small company and an individual, what I can contribute. Then I started thinking of technologies that can be adopted and how we can solve this issue. At least a part can be solved. Then I started my company called Solver Ecotech Private Limited, where I started innovating on a product, and that brand has now become one of the top-rated brands in India. But see, what I say is we are managing around approximately 1 lakh kgs of waste per day. It may not be in a single plant, but across India and some other countries also we have supplied. But what we have seen is, if you are managing, supposing that your university is producing, say, 200, 300 or 400 kgs of waste per day, if you are managing it properly, that means your part is done. You are not going to throw anything out. Likewise, I have, say, 500 customers across India who do the same, from 50 kg to 1 ton or 2 ton, they are processing. So that is actually would be my kind of contribution. What I can and convey to you is that how to do that properly and what are the methods available. I mean, even right now I am working on pyrolysis plant, which is to convert waste plastic to diesel, which again can be a very good solution for waste plastic, and through this we can create a lot of demand for plastic, and people start collecting. I'll throw more light into all this topic during the course of our discussion, because moderator should ask us, or you students can ask us. Accordingly, we'll answer.
All right, sir. All right. Well done. Sir is a veteran in waste management. I know. Okay. While you focus on this 3 P's or triple bottom line, earlier only one bottom line profit was there. Now you see, when you focus on the other P's like people and planet, is it at the cost of the 3rd P, profit? It's a question. It's a general question to everybody. While if suppose we would like to engage this kind of sustainability practices or sustainable innovations, or bring some innovative sustainable practices, or if we want to do something in these 2 sectors, for environment, for society, for social kind of incentives or kind of sustainable activities, is it at the cost of profit? Or I would like to put it in a different way. At the long run, in the long run, whether it will be building profit for the company. So there are a lot of difference of opinion from industry itself. Suppose we focus on sustainable or green practices or such kind of practices, this will be happening at the cost of profit. But there are a lot of companies which are ready to sacrifice also. But my question is whether it will be helpful in the long run. In the long run, ultimately what is going to happen, whether it will bring in more profit or it will be at the cost of profit. When you focus on the 2 P's, people as well as planet. I think it's open for discussion. Yes, sir.
Can I just bring in an Australian perspective here? Earlier, our speakers mentioned about spirituality, religion, connection to land. And something that really resonates with the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people in Australia is that connection to the land. They would say they are connected to the land. And that connection to the land is celebrated. When one person falls sick, the entire community feels it. And the way the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities were treated were completely different, because they were using the westernized approach. So there was some discussion this morning about the indigenous models, the culturally appropriated models for interventions. Therefore, coming back to your question, whether we are going for profit or place, and I call it place as an important element, and in the long run, that's your term, in the long run, my take on this is we all need to realize that we are all interconnected. And once we realize that we are interconnected and we are connected to the place and the land, there is that happiness. Now, how we can create that happiness using the indigenous Indian knowledge system, there is a concept called Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that the whole world is one. And that we are all connected. And we use the model, the PERMA model from Seligman's theory, positive psychology, that flourishing model. And we have now turned that model into a collective flourishing model. Therefore, the idea of one person, one place is important, but also looking at the cultural aspect that can we flourish collectively in a given place. For example, Marian community, can we flourish? What are the indicators of flourishing? Now, as a business house, business group, is the business flourishing? They might say, because the profit is higher, we are flourishing. But what are the other indicators? Are the people flourishing? Is the community itself flourishing? So these are questions to answer before even we consider the profit margin. In this context, we need to look at the education models, because the models that we use at the moment are sometimes westernized. And I always say we need to revisit the models that we teach. because we need to also look at the context in which our students are going to practice. Our students are going to be leaders. So do we have models that might help them to think differently? That's just a thought.
All right, sir. All right, sir.
It's coming to that, it's a fantastic 3 Ps. We talk about 3 Ps everywhere. People, planet, and, profits. If there is no planet, there is no people. If there is no people, there is no profit. Right? Simple, very simple. So you need people to sustain and survive. The people should definitely see that the planet is saved. What we have done in cement industry is, I'm not going to 3 hours now, what we have done in cement industry that whatever a substitute and alternative materials can be used. Just to start from, when the cement, without limestone, you cannot produce cement. So there is a Portland is the place in England where the cement, the limestone has started. There's Joseph Asphodel only, the inventor or discovered the Portland stones actually. But end of the day, if we start continuously mining, what happens tomorrow? You will not have that particular product also on the earth. So for instance, in fact, Dr. Swami was, he was mentioning about fly ash. Yes. Fly ash, where it comes from fly ash? It comes from thermal power plants. So the government, when they found during the time, some way back, few years back, they insisted that cement has to be mixed with the fly ash. So there, you are supporting the another industry. It is like coming back to a circular economy or whatever it is. And the fly ash, when we started, we manufactured, we invented a new kind of a product called Portland Pozzolana cement. Similarly, you go into slag, the derivative of steel industry, the slag is also used. Now the clay is used. So what you are doing is, you are supporting the planet, you are taking a product from the planet, you are once again supporting the planet to sustain, at the same time to earn profit for the company. What we do when we are putting in a cement industry, when you are putting a cement industry, you are going to just remove whatever areas are there, you are going to just, acres and acres of land, trees, afforestation, everything, you are going to just remove that. So on the people, planet, to sustain the planet and survive, Zuari Cement, when I was with Zuari Cement, almost 15 years I was there, Zuari Cement has taken a great initiative of planting almost around 1 lakh to 2 lakh trees. Similarly, that's the pledge, and they have done it. Similarly, the pledge for Dalmia Cements, when I was there, we have taken a pledge to plant almost 1 lakh, 2 lakh trees around. You save the nature. I always believe that nature is the future. If you save the nature, your future will be bright. This is for any industry I am talking about. And further, what are the developments we have done? In the course of another discussion also, I will just mention about it. And that will be wise that other panelists also will say what are the steps they have taken about it. And what is about carbon emission, how we are controlling it. Those things we can deliberate upon in the further course of discussion. Thank you, sir.
All right, sir. All right. So maybe finally, you need to preserve nature, environment. Maybe the fact, and if you don't have the environment, you cannot explore it, exploit also, whatever it is. Okay. Maybe from a people perspective, from a social sustainability point of view, when you focus on people, the welfare measures, in India there is no culture of maybe paying for additional time which you spend in a company. In European countries, when you cross 5 or 6, whatever it is, the work time, they'll ask you, why are you sitting here? Where in India, people will exploit. You stay here for 24 hours or 14 hours. The L&T chief, Subramaniam, stated, no, all sunny days. Sundays are also sunny days. You have to work for 90 hours. No overtime is paid. Suppose you need to pay overtime, which means you have to pay from your pocket company. Ultimately, where this kind of thing will end up, profit will erode, or ultimately this will bring in some kind of goodwill, or profit will escalate. What is your opinion?
Okay, I'll just bring some statistics or some math around this. I'm sure everyone would have heard about a society called Universum. If not, all my leaders kindly go to Universum. It's very important for the young leaders who normally have the surveys like the Gallup you have for US. It's across for Europe and other companies. There is an institution called Universum along with McKinsey which has done the study. Study says 77.3% of the Generation Z and the millennials who are sitting here, they have voted saying that the organization which supports CSR, don't just define CSR around the social activities, the CSR is around the planet and the people. If they support that, they would be liking, they would definitely would like to join those set of organizations. Number one. Number two, the most important thing is there is nothing called engagement survey or satisfaction survey anymore. It's the world is moving towards something called experience, right? One of the top 10 best organizations, if you happen to do your research in Boston Consulting Group Index, you will see that best of the companies is companies which have the fuel of innovation. They take care of the people aspects in terms of experience. Number two. Number three, the most important thing which I'm going to steal from Abraham sir is, the most important thing is, why should all my great leaders join organization is, nowadays especially I have heard a lot of when I had to hire great minds like you, the first question they ask is the office closed by 5 o'clock? If I say no, they are not interested in joining. Number two, do you have gym? If I say no, they don't want to join. Number three, they ask, do you have employee assistance program, counseling, other things. So that means the need for mental wellness is really rising. So that means people aspect has to be taken care. You cannot only look at profit aspect. The number two important reason is culture. The people-centric culture is directly proportional, maths, directly proportional to the profit aspect. So if you ignore the people centricity in the walk of talk, you will always miss on many things. Last but not the least, I'm sure everyone has heard about DE, right? Diversity and equity. But more than that, organizations these days believe, emphasize, drive and deploy the most important thing called inclusion and belongingness. And the organization which is not doing inclusion and belongingness, they lose the majority of the things to your competitors. So if you really ask me, people are the only important or the vital aspects which will give you competitive advantage. It's not the strategy, it's not the systems, it's not the tools. It's the people at the end that makes a difference.
Right,
Thank you.
Right. So if the company is employee friendly, people friendly means people will have an affinity towards that company. Otherwise,
absolutely,
you will not get employees. Yes, sir.
Yeah, can I just add one more point to that? I'm coming with the evidence and research. The evidence says, you can look at Stanford's Center for Altruistic Center for Research and Compassion.
Yes.
We need compassionate leaders.
Awesome.
And there is evidence to suggest that compassionate leaders make huge difference in the workplace. I would ask some of you are keen on taking up your PhDs and other research area to explore how compassion plays a huge role in creating a wonderful workplace, even in creating systems. So future leaders, we have heard this word compassion all throughout in our lives, but how that compassion as a word is translated into action is something that we can learn from the research evidence that is coming out from Stanford. Thank you.
And one important thing is, kindly don't use the word empathy anymore. It's empathy in action is compassion. Number one. Number two, please avoid, I'm sure you all know KFC, right? Now start having a word called KEC, kindness, empathy and compassion. Start putting it, and that brings the authenticity in place. And there's a fantastic book in your library called Compassionate Leadership. Please read it. Thank you.
Right, very good. I said over to Arvind sir, I think, say how maybe this kind of waste management, the effort towards environment, will it reduce profit in the long run, or will it add to goodwill as well as profit in the long run? What is your take on that?
Yeah, actually, I have my view on these kind of things where the waste management, whether, see, there are certain things which go as your responsibility. Certain things, see, imagine if you have a very beautiful campus and you have stinky atmosphere when you have the waste is being dumped and it is not being treated. Definitely the way the people look at your university or your institution, no, they come, but with this kind of environment, definitely it is actually going to give you a lot of, which I can't put a value for it, like how it damages. But when you have a proper treatment, or when you are properly treating this waste, definitely the value which is added on it, I don't know whether it can be said on a monetary aspect or not, but definitely it will be something which need to be driven as a responsibility. It is, again, when you are asking about the revenue or whatever, if you can make money or some income out of this, definitely I can say, when I was talking about this plastic project, where I am very sure that I was discussing with the father also, like, we can give diesel or maybe at a cost of around, say, 30 to 40 rupees. Maximum, say, I mean, if you are getting plastic free of cost, plastic waste, something which you are throwing away, if somebody is ready to dispose it, definitely I have my technology where I can give diesel maybe 20-25 rupees per liter I can give. See, then you can imagine like the way, the difference when you buy on a 96-97 rupees to say 25 rupees, then it becomes kind of a very, very big profit model where the institutions itself, they can have a revenue out of it. Plus you are actually solving a very big issue of plastic pollution. Because when you burn plastic, you know the kind of gases and you know how harmful it is, as you rightly said about the Brahmapuram fire. These are something which we have practically we have seen, and being in Cochin, I know the impact we had actually. The smoke every day, every morning you are seeing it's a smoky kind of thing, and where we even had that breathing problem, and everybody has experienced it. So what I can say is, if that that kind of now the quantity of plastic which has got burned that day, if it has been converted to diesel, it would have been, I can say, maybe crores of rupees income from that. Unnecessarily it has been burnt, but right technology on the right place will definitely can save a lot of money.
Yeah, good sir. I think plastic should be recycled. You know, I think I have got one of my friend who is having this kind of plant producing this fuel from plastic. He is having a dearth of this resource, maybe the kind of material. He is not finding enough plastic for producing the fuel. Okay, so that's good, well and good. We'll focus on another area. Sir, you would like to add something?
Yeah, just I just want to mention that how you can, going back to that reduce, reuse, and coming back to the what products you give. Cement industry requires huge amount of power. It's a huge, tremendous amount of power. In fact, to produce 1 million ton per annum, they have used bagasse 41.86, almost 42 megawatts they get from bagasse. Where you get from bagasse? Bagasse you get from the sugar cane, nearby industry. So they are using that as a fuel, alternative fuel for the kiln and to run the factory. Similarly, when you are doing an alternative kind of a materials and things like that, it also helps to see that your nature, whatever material you require for the future, it survived. And also you are helping. For instance, you are using biodiesel. That is another area where Dalmia Cements have invested a lot of using biodiesel for their plant. So to get from the biofuel, you get that biodiesel, and then they are using it as a substitute. So these kind of alternatives methodologies will help and reduce the carbon footprint. So for instance, cement industry, they are under a WBCD, have taken a pledge, and few companies have taken a pledge that, for instance, 2040, if I remember that, Dalmia has taken a pledge saying that we will be zero carbon, negative carbon for the whole plants.
Wonderful, wonderful. Let's give a round of applause. Zero carbon means it's a good thing.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right, sir. Okay. Now, see, the whole sustainability, the circular economy is running or revolving around 3 R's like reduce, reuse, recycle, sustainable, reproduce, repair. The sustainability experts, they have added all these kind of number of R's. Now I think it has become 7 R's. Okay. And out of the 7 R's, one is responsible. Okay, one is responsible. My question is to the panel members, in a circular economy, from producer to consumer, when the product goes, and you need to collect something back. Whatever product is there, one's car, after 15 years, it is a waste. Maybe a lot of other products, whether it is refrigerator, whether it is any kind of product, maybe there is a kind of a, at the fag and at the life cycle, at the end of the life cycle, it becomes a waste or it has to be recirculated in a circular economy. Who is responsible? When I talk about this word responsible, who is responsible for collecting this thing back? Whether it is regulators like government or consumers like us or companies or manufacturers. There are 3 people who are involved. Out of these 3 groups, which group is more responsible or equally responsible? Regulations. Okay, for example, we have got a wonderful regulation. Okay, State Beverages Corporation collecting the personal plastic bottles back. It's not a fun. One smart IAS officer started this thing. Okay, collecting 20 rupees, giving 20 rupees once you deposit the plastic bottle. So similarly, who is responsible for the kind of recirculation of the products at the end of the product life cycle? So the question is posed to all these panel members. Anybody can start. Option. Yes.
I think this EPR, actually that is what we call it, extended producer responsibility, because once you are buying a mobile phone, actually they are charging from you the cost of recycling, because every mobile, whenever they sell it, they are actually on the breakup of their costing. If you take, it is like they have put a percentage for recycling. Unfortunately, they are not able to, but for the namesake they are showing. Actually what I have heard is like even Samsung, all these people, they have some system where they show that it is being taken back and collected and they are recycling. But nowadays it has become a big business for the e-waste companies, where they take it because as some of the speakers said, you get gold out of it, like a lot of circuits which contains gold, silver and all the precious metals. They extract mostly, see that is also a very big topic. So they extract all these things, the valuable costly metals, and they make it as a very big business now. So even we also feel like, okay, somebody is taking it, and e-waste and phone we just throw, we don't want it after it has been damaged. So that is a very big business which is happening. But the manufacturers, though they charge us to recycle, they are, I don't know whether they are doing it fully or not.
Yes, sir. Sir, Abraham, sir.
I'll give you 2 Australian examples. I'm sure you may have heard the term pre-loved goods. In Australia, every weekends, they call it as garage sales, right? They open the garage and the goods that are not to be used, they just display it and people can just go and use it. Many of our students who come there, even myself, we actually use some of those goods. And I think it's a culture. It's a community building process where we create a culture. Yes, it's okay to use it. And I think that culture so far hasn't come here. We see it as a stigma or a taboo or anything. So my point here is about... Yeah. Yeah, my idea was it's actually a culture of, reuse the material, that is the idea. So how we create mindset. I think the whole idea is about creating awareness within the community and reaching out. It's everyone's responsibility. And I use the word I flourish, we flourish, and together as a community we flourish. And therefore, we are bestowed with a responsibility to look after the nature for the future. And that's the term that I've used is stewardship. We're just God, you know. So maybe that is one thing, even in Australian context, you know, there is a hospital for the tortoise. Hospital, and that is within the community where there are systems, small rivers, things are created and people look after, and they say you cannot feed these birds or anything. So people are aware and they act with the courage, act with the responsibility, and that is to be done very meticulously, and educational institutions do play a major role. And I want to add one last point from my side. As a education institution, one of the things that we might focus on, I'm just going to quote this, Saint John Henry Newman. He was declared as the doctor of the church on the 1st of November 2025 in Rome. I represented the Notre Dame University in that function. And one of the things that came is known as a patron of education and voice of the modern church. And it goes like this. Education should develop the mindset for its own sake rather than for professional or utilitarian gains. The philosophical habit of mind, and he calls it as the philosophical habit of mind. He believed that the goal was to produce a mind that can analyze, connect, and comprehend various branches of knowledge as a whole, universal whole, rather than specifically looking at an individual subject prematurely. So I think the call from that particular conference was, as a doctor of the church, was to see how we create environment for young people to think critically, reflect in a way that they can take this onward. Thank you.
That's good, that's good. I think young people are more responsible. Like children right now, they are much more responsible in terms of sustainability, not throwing away litters, all this kind of thing. Yes, sir.
Yes, Professor Sampson has put it very simple. I would just wanted to coin that. It is GPC. It's the government, people, or the company which produces. The government gives the license to the company to produce, and the company engages the people to work for the organization. It is all intertwined. You can't just separate it. But at the end of the day, there are regulations. There are pollution regulations are there. You know that, you take an automobile sector, there are pollution regulations are there. When I opened my, discussion, I have mentioned that CO2 emission of almost around to the world, it's around 5 to 7% from the cement industry. It is like, without food you can't survive, without cement you can't construct. Very simple as such. Maybe a reduction of cement can be reduced. That is why your lot of other bodies are there. You have got the Indian Green Building Council is there, where they give certification for certain. I think your colleges should take a certification for IGBC. You have already, yes. So these are the things where the concrete elements can be reduced completely. Where it can. So in cement industry, what we do, to make a clinkerization, it has to go to a temperature of almost 900 degrees centigrade and more. So, what is the clinkerization? How do you do it? With coal. So, you substitute coal with other materials. You bring the waste materials from the community. And our own transporters, our own logistics people, they are empowered to bring it with the society who is just going to give back all the waste materials which can be burnt and then which can save the coal also. So your production of coal is reduced. So your pollution in the factory also comes automatically, number one. Number two, lot of innovations and instead of using the power, which I have told that how much megawatts have to be used, we are getting into a solar, number two. And what is the other kind of a pollution? Imagine that, 450 million tons is going from the country with different manufacturers. I don't want to name the manufacturers, whether it's Dalmia, whether it's Adani, whether it's Ultratech, whatever it is. 450 million tons per annum is going into the market to construct. So who is the person who is taking the material to the either by road, either by rail, or either by ship? These are the things you can go. So what are the steps you can take? Steps now we are taking, we are encouraging, we are giving incentives to the people who use electric vehicles, which has come into the markets very heavily. Even the heavy vehicles also, I think DCBL Dalmia has implemented to encourage transporters of fuel and then go into the electric vehicles. Thereby you can reduce. It is not that you produce cement that gives. It is a various other components. It is a combination of various other forces which gives you a pollution, where there can be a reduction of these pollution will give the industry a sustainability and the people to survive.
Thank you. Good, sir. Thank you. You would like to add something?
So I'll do one thing. I'll play the role of LLM. I've stolen points from everyone. I'll do that. So most important thing is, I think all my leaders who are sitting here would have gone through most important subject called operation research or operations management. I think operation management is the need of the hour, irrespective of direct, I mean, you take HR, marketing, or whatever it is. The most important thing what you learn in that is design thinking, right? Design thinking is common sense. How do you really create an experience to your customer? Most important thing which you are going to learn, or which I assume you would have learned, is lean management, which Abraham sir was also quoting. And most important, if you really understand the basics of the lean management, is continuous improvement in whatever you do, irrespective of any discipline, that be finance, HR. As long you can start that mindset from this college, it becomes easy for you to get any kind of job. Believe me or not, most of the organizations, even if you're going for a finance job, some of the questions is, how do you really try to cut waste or eliminate waste in your finance, in your operations, in your marketing, and in sales? So AI is not the only stuff, but then you also need to really learn the lean management concepts. It's pure common sense, but that is something which is expected. And from the organization standpoint, what organizations almost have been doing is, leaders should walk the talk. It's an interconnection of LCS, leadership, culture which really means lean management in terms of what they speak, what they think, and what they do. Speak, think, and do. If it is not in sync, probably the culture fails. So leadership has to really facilitate that kind of lean management culture. And the most important, your structures and systems, irrespective of what is AI and other stuff. If that systems are not in place or the structure is not enabling, probably we all fail as doing something called the lean management. The whole idea is about that. Thank you.
Okay. Now we have got another, I think we have got a couple of minutes only. Okay. Yes, ma'am, please.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, right. No more waste. No more waste. It's recycled. Okay.
Absolutely.
Right, absolutely. You're right. Thank you. That's. We didn't actually say to get a kind of a maybe say the meaning of it is that now it has been changed. No more waste in the circular economy. In the circular economy, no more waste. That's what it is. So we have got one more question. I think we have got a couple of minutes balance. I think. Okay, I will take 5 more minutes to conclude. Companies should manufacture products. Consumers need enough products, or we need to have enough goods as well as services. And companies need to mobilize resources. They need to have raw material for production. Okay. For example, Vedanta Alumina, if they mine for aluminum or bauxite, we can't blame them. Okay. We cannot blame them. Okay. The question is, say when you speak about green manufacturing, green, lean, all kind of manufacturing, where do you draw a kind of a line between this kind of resource mobilization or resource optimization. For example, Pepsi, Coke taking water out of earth, you cannot blame them, okay? You cannot blame them. But where do you draw a line between this kind of resource mobilization and the resource optimization and the exploitation, okay? So that's a kind of thing, okay? That's a question, okay? Arvind, please. Okay.
See,
yeah.
No, coming to this, what nowadays, as you said, rightly said, when you have this water resources, I think nowadays we have this carbon credit where you get points, for preserving pollution. You are not supposed to emit carbon, take control measures and reduce, and you get some points on the carbon footprints. Then we definitely have one more thing, that is the water credit, where you might have read in some articles or somewhere, or maybe the information is that, when you consume 1 kg of meat, or rather I can say beef, it consumes around 15,000 liters of water to make 1 kg of beef. Actually, I'm not telling that it is just because you do the washing and all, but the time when the cattle starts, from there the consumption of water to the processing of the meat and all these things, the consumption, it is rated to the top most among the food we eat. So that means if you are having that kind of an analysis for each and everything, whatever you do, whatever you have in your system or in your offices, you just see the conservation of water. All this comes under the sustainability, because as it is not a resource which can be there forever. So these are all things where you can even think of. And one more thing what I would like to convey my students or the future leaders is that you should come up in such areas where there are a lot of requirements. Our country needs leaders to start working on these kind of areas where we have very limited resources. When I say in my industry, in waste management, I rarely see many people in Kerala coming into the manufacturing business like we do. But when people are coming up, definitely, we call waste is gold, because the kind of money which is lying, because though we call it as a social service or whatever we say, but ultimately the sustainability lies when you make profit out of whatever business you do. So what I urge is that if the youngsters can start thinking about some technology or maybe some ideas where you can solve this issue, start thinking in that direction, and if you can come up with something on that particular business, definitely it will help the country, it will definitely support our economy also. Thank you.
Well, yes. If you have something, you can add, otherwise.
Thank you, Arvind. That's rightly put it, saying that, now every industry, you are the future leaders, and then you are the innovators, as you rightly put it. You innovate and you explore. There are a lot of things can be done, especially on this area. Like Malika ma'am has said that don't use the word waste. There is nothing called waste in our country. Anything, somebody throwing that has to come from us. Don't throw waste outside, waste in a proper place. And we have got the habit of throwing the waste everywhere. It is not waste. You are throwing whatever you consume, you are trying to throw it out, which is not required. So please don't do that, because that is a resource. So you need to find an alternative materials. For instance, I have seen that in our rooms now in this college, in this great institution, I have seen that there is no plastic bottles. Everywhere is the glass bottles are there. So you need to innovate certain things as students. You should come out with the projects. You should, when you do a project presentation, just don't do just for the project presentation. You do something different and give it to the companies, where the company will straight away say that, this guy is so intelligent, we'll observe him. Your brains, you will come as a future leader of the company. So in this area of sustainability, also what you can do is you can dwell upon You can work on some case studies, and you can do some kind of a research on this. For those research, the industry will support. For instance, we are having three-way green, Three Green Private Limited, where recently I have joined them as a Director of Business Development. You come to us and saying that, sir, I would like to come and visit the factory, I would like to give an idea. For instance, we are going to replace certain materials, we are working on that. Myself and Arvind is working on that. You come to us, we'll take you to our unit. You innovate and give, we will absorb you. Am I right, Arvind? This is the way where the interaction is there. It's not that a panel discussion ends with this. The panel discussions has to continue. And thank you, Samson, because there are a lot of things.
I think
to talk
Abraham sir has got something.
Thank you so much. That is fantastic. This conversation is leading to some fruitful action, which means we are compassionate, right? The conversation leads into action. So thank you so much. I just want to flag an idea here, because usually we come with an idea. So I have an idea, which I had actually thought about it. Now, it's about critical consciousness raising and transformational growth. Now, this has occurred even in Australian context, and Australian government has a program which is called the New Colombo Plan. You can just Google, you'll find all the details. The government provides $3,000 to each student to visit another country, South Asian countries, and to go and learn what is happening there. Now, I have been bringing students from Australia to Kerala every year, 10 to 15 students. And similarly, I used to take few students from Kerala to Australia. So this is called a reciprocal arrangement of partnerships and collaboration. Now my idea here is, based on this conversation, you have some system through which we can work. Here there is a wonderful management group. We have got wonderful students sitting here. Could we take them for a drive to show them places? Could this become a project in itself? That in Australia we say, take the dog for a walk. What happens when you take the dog for a walk? The dog will stop and you will have a conversation with a few people, you will make friendship, you will see different things, and you come up with new ideas with friendship. Could we actually use this platform to come up with an idea where our students are exposed to grassroots realities of what is happening in our places? Even within India, outside, could this become a project in itself as part of this particular conversation?
Right, sir. Yeah. That's wonderful. We are also maybe into different immersion programs. Next month also we are visiting Malaysia for this kind of interactions. Maybe learning what is their culture, the kind of industry exposure. We are also giving this kind of, we have started this kind of initiatives. Now I think posing maybe a last question. Now the industry is very conscious about this thing. The regulatory framework, government, they are becoming more stricter, maybe in terms stringent, in terms of framing, banning all diesel vehicles, maybe imposing penalty or compulsorily making companies carbon neutral, at least minimum. And this is, they are in progress. Now, where do you see, maybe after 10, 20 years, where do you see this kind of sustainability here in India? What would be the future of sustainability in India? This is the right. These are the people who need to take care of this thing, take it forward also. Okay, where do you see, maybe from your perspective, where do you see? Maybe from a people, maybe from an environment friendly kind of way, maybe. So where do you see this thing? Okay.
So I see any kind of a thing, there is no stoppage, right? There is no stoppage. Right now, you just see, I'm giving an example. In the factories or in the residences, in complexes, even in your own institutions, you are reusing your water, wastewater, correct? Am I right or wrong? You might be using for the plants, that will be going there. You're not just taking it, you have your own kind of water resources, you're storing water. If you take this, it will be a continuous development. For instance, I'll just give you an example where recently National Thermal Power Corporation, where they produce fly ash, they have come out with a beautiful concept saying that whatever the component of fly ash is there, they are converting into a bricks. They are not selling bricks. They are converting into bricks and they are constructing into a house at around 2 lakhs or something like that, where small houses can be constructed. Similarly, if you look at it, I would see that the future will be more, the young generation will be more responsible for the sustainability to survive. Because after this future young generation also will become older generation, another generation will come, third generation, fourth generation. I think we are in a right path. The world is acknowledging that people are becoming a more responsible citizen, and I am sure that, and as far as India is concerned, a lot of steps have been taken by, our Prime Minister Modi ji, right from Swachh Bharat. I think another thing is there, just to conclude my talk in this due to paucity of time, unless or otherwise, I strongly believe that teach, train, implement. Anything you want to do, first to teach, and you train people to do that, and implement it. When you implement it, it will become successful. Thank you, Samson.
All right, I think our kids, they have got a few questions, maybe.
Just one comment.
Yeah, sir, you have got.
Since the topic is sustainability, I appreciate all the panelists for having made wonderful remarks. What I observe, this is only an observation. We are discussing sustainability based on the materials first, then based on machines or technology, but very little discussions are going on in terms of the mind. Unless there is a change in the mindset, that is what somebody remarked that. But what I observe is that the state of mind determines the state of society, and the state of society determines the state of environment and hence sustainability. And we are seeing from different angles, different dimensions. And my opinion is that those old dimensions should be converged to one and the holistic aspect. That is known as the oneness. Abraham sir has said about the interconnectedness. There is interrelationship, interconnection, etc., which converges at the oneness. Man and nature are not different. Even a grain of sand and the whole earth are one and the same. So there is no difference between the living and the non-living. This is the philosophy of sustainability that is being taught in different universities, and the UN also has come forward with the traditional knowledge initiative or the indigenous wisdom which is at the base of sustainability. That's all what I have to add, and thank you all the panelists for having made wonderful remarks from the practical angles. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I think we should have a sustainability mindset. That's the essence, the whole essence. Anybody has got any questions? Now it's a time for questions. Okay. Yeah.
Good morning, respected sir. Actually, I'm from Myanmar, outside of India. So every discussions are very insightful to me. Let me ask one question. One of the panelists, I forgot the name, my apology. So he mentioned cement production. No? In cement production, China is cement production. Cement production, China production 1 trillion. No? In India, yes, in India,
1 billion.
1 billion, yes, 1 billion. In India, they produce 700 million. So 30% are different. So when I am here to study in here, and I believe India has a lot of resources, such as human resource, and there are so many resources. So my question is, why India people can produce like China? Like, why these processes are different? I wish to know behind the reason. I think this one is very related with, especially in business profit. So 30% is very much huge amount. This is one of the production, but there are so many things which compared with other countries, is very little.
Yeah,
but
we got it.
I want to know why.
Understood.
Yes. Okay.
Understood.
Please.
Thank you. Thank you. A very good question. It is not that who is number one, who is number two. The resources in China is quite large in compared to India. Number one. Number one. So, it is on the demand and supply only you produce. Am I right? So when you are hungry, then you make more food. When for 10 people you make food, 20 people you make food. Is that same like consumption also goes there? In fact, for your information, the recent record shows that China is lacking behind. They are not able to move ahead with, because a lot of other substitute materials are coming into the market, number one. Number two is that if China produces 1 billion ton, it's the production capacity they can produce. Please understand the difference. The production can be produced at 1 billion ton. It is not the consumption. Consumption is different, production is different. So if you look at it, China has dropped by almost 5 to 8%. If it is 1 billion ton is produced, they are consuming roughly around 650 or 700 million tons. India produces 710 million tons, consumes 450 million tons. So you can always ask that, why don't you produce more? I can produce more, there should be a demand, number one. When you produce more, and then you have more stocks, it creates a lot of cutthroat competition it creates. There, what will happen, you are going to flood the market. It will not sustain for a long time. Some industries can die. That is why this collaboration takes place. So please understand the difference between consumption and the production capacity. Hope
Right,
I have
sir.
answered your question.
Thank you. Thank you. Any questions from the audience? Yes.
Respected panelists, my fellow students, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fongon Agwe. I'm from Cameroon. I have a very short question, I believe. What type of business, looking at the future, can someone start from scratch and grow it sustainably? What type of business can someone start from scratch and grow it sustainably, looking at the future? Thank you.
We didn't get the question once.
What kind of business?
Yeah.
Business.
Yeah. What type of business will be sustaining? Okay.
Yeah, definitely. It's a very good question. Actually, I think I have just now answered, or maybe that mention has been made on that. See, any business which is kind of, you work on any sustainability kind of a business. Like, earlier it was, you can, that when solar business started, like when people started putting in solar plants, that was like, say, some 20, 25 years back, it emerged as a startup for many companies, and now it has become a very big business, and many people started working on it. So anything on sustainability, like renewable energy and all those things definitely will, and it more depend on your country also, like whether the government is very much, they have these regulations, and whether they are stressing on those areas, like, if the government is putting some regulation, supposing that they say that you can't litter outside, or then you get a market for dustbins. See, when
I also think, like, maybe within a span of 10 or 20 years, these kind of conventional business practices will obviously will be barred, or it will be banned by the government due to this kind of sustainability or other kind of green practices. Only those companies which pursue these kind of green practices or green manufacturing will only be allowed to continue also. That is
because you just take the example of biodegradable carry bags. Earlier it was we were all using those polythene bags, plastics. Now you hardly see that. Any grocery shop until you are getting that biodegradable or paper bags. So that has become a very big industry. Now a lot of people started producing very, very big biodegradable bags. See, those are the new areas which has entered in the last 4 or 5 years time. These are like, you have to explore on new areas, because when I also did like that only, like I thought of waste management, I started there. So it will definitely, bear good fruits, definitely.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's at, yes, sir. Jaggi, sir. Mic, please.
So congratulations, a great panelist, and I'm so happy to see some action-oriented suggestions coming from the panelist. I'm happy that that industry leaders are sitting here with a very clear vision, plus a lot of jargons also. I've been working on this social sector right from MDG, now SDG, maybe after 2030 that some different jargon will be there. But in the whole ecosystem, it's very important, like your suggestion that waste management is there, your suggestion that you are giving, you're preferring the transport which is electric vehicles, right? But the important part is that your consumers, right? In the whole ecosystem, consumers, stakeholders are very important. They are also one of the stakeholders. Are we doing something for the conscious stakeholders? Because just a few years back, I was consulting some of the companies in Europe, including the Dutch government, right? And one of the case study of IKEA was that, that consumers are very powerful stakeholder in defining the whole policy, objective, mission statement of the company, right? In the Indian ecosystem, the consumers are not so powerful. Reason is because that when I see that, then go in a store, that see that there's a 20% discount, 30% discount, people will go and buy that. Irrespective of that, the company is consciously working or not, ethically working or not, but in Europe, the version is different. If company is working ethically, consciously, then definitely the consumer will go for that. So do you see any kind of awareness generated in the last couple of years that, okay, consumers are oriented by them? We are talking about the ethical leadership, conscious leadership. Are we talking about conscious consumerism also in the business scenario? Would like to have your views on that. Thank you.
100%. To start with, because we produce, we sell. What cement industry have gone through is right from the beginning, which I have seen that it's a fantastic move. Suppose a project like of this stature is there, Marian Institute. Earlier, what has happened? How this evolved? Earlier, it was jute bags. From jute bags, it has gone to polythene bags. Then polythene bags, and then your grammage has been reduced, whatever the thickness. Then gone to paper bags. Paper bags also. Now it has got polypropylene PPC bags. Another product has come. See, this kind of a project requires the huge collection of bags. So what is the innovation we have done? Why you want to cut the bags and put the concrete? Straight away ready-mix concrete has come. RMC has come. So ready-mix concrete, RMC has come, straight away it is there. So the consumer is benefited because your transportation cost, your bag cost is completely reduced. You know RMC, you have seen that big RMC machines are, with the trucks is going there. Directly it will pump the concrete where it is required. So these kind of innovations, so end of the day, the customer also gets a reduction in price and he is also benefited. At the same time, you are also environment friendly, not pushing the bags too much on this. This is one great step for an industry like, because if you take the GDP of any country or for India, for instance, the major contributor, I think Saab will agree on this, the major contributor is cement and steel. Am I right? The cement and steel is the GDP major contributor is there. So we should be able to give this kind of benefits to the customer. The consumer is benefited on this. Hope I have answered this question.
Okay. Yeah, maybe due to paucity of time, we need to restrict further maybe inputs from panelists also, because it's already 1 o'clock. Our kids may be starving at this point of time. Okay. So, anyway, thanks to all these great people for their marvelous contribution in terms of being a member of this panel, as well as the kind of unique contributions from their side, their industry, from their experience. They share a lot of experience. Maybe in the coming future, sustainability and green kind of initiatives will be focusing much more on their initiatives, and they have come up with some kind of action initiatives. Kids, listen, if you have got any projects, maybe in sustainability area, go to them. Okay, they will give you funding. Okay, don't be greedy on funding alone, but come with some very good projects. Okay, yeah, very smart. Okay, so thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for the wonderful contribution. We thank. Let's give a round of applause. Okay.
Thank you, panel members, for sharing your valuable insights. I also thank the audience for your cooperation. Now, I invite Dr. T.V. Murli Vallabhan, Director, to present a token of appreciation to respected panelists. Now, as a sign of gratitude, I invite Mr. Ramesh P.V. Thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable industry insights and enriching today's discussion. Now I invite Mr. Arvind Warrior. Thank you for your thoughtful perspectives on leadership and sustainability. Now I invite Professor Abraham Francis. Thank you, sir, for your insightful academic and global perspectives. Now I invite Mr. P.S. Arvind. Thank you, sir, for your sharing your practical insights on sustainable business practices. Thomas, Dean Corporate Affairs, Marian Institute of Management, for skillfully steering today's panel discussion. I express my heartfelt thanks to our distinguished panelist, Mr. Ramesh P.V., former Executive Director, Dalmia Siemens, Mr. Arvind Warrior, HR Lead, Volvo, Professor Abraham Francis, University of Notre Dame, Australia, and Mr. P.S. Arvind, Director, 3R Green Private Limited, for sharing their valuable insights and experiences on leading sustainability beyond compliance. We also thank our partner institution, Parel University, St. Aloysius College, for their collaboration and support. I extend my appreciation to the management, faculty members, organizers, and participants for making this session meaningful and successful. Thank you all. I request you all to pay attention that the presentations will be conducted at the various venues within MIM by 2 p.m. Thank you.